see, it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Oh yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, it would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
No! Damn shot! Yeah!
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup. Best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup. Living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah, I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. That's Phil S. Marks.
Fucking Mark!
And welcome to PWT Live Show 238. We got a jam-packed show. Shit's developing. AEW talent are being blocked by TNA, which we got MJF taking shots at Carlos Silva. And this is just, I'm just like, excellent, right? Because naturally, AEW and TNA, we're going to end up duking it out harder. And that was going to be the narrative with this year. I predicted that would be the case, and the prophecy was foretold. Triple H's DMs leak. I guess they're not really leaked. It's a lawsuit, but is what it is. With Nick Khan, with Vince McMahon involved, and it's very revealing about where WWE is right now. Alberto Del Rio might be spending life in prison, which is incredibly unfortunate. And all of that, and tons more. And welcome, everybody. It is PWT Live Show. I'm Phil S. Marks. Thank you, everybody who tuned in yesterday for a run-in, just a last-minute run-in, where I EFAP'd the whole Tony Khan appearance on Coach and Bro. And I watched it live, but I was like pausing it and reacting to things. And we're not going to cover that. I did 2 hours on that yesterday, so go and check that out. But there is one thing from there that has to do with AEW news that we're going to talk about. Of course, check out patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. That is where I drop a bunch of bonus content, and I recently released a Botchamania watch along. Botchamania episode 15 watch along. 1 through 15 are all on there, and it's a long one. It's the first ever Ultimate X match and Shane versus Kurt Angle from King of the Ring. So check that out, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. And also you get early access to PWT pods over there. My WrestleMania preview with Husey is dropping there. Probably I'll do it like Monday, maybe. It'll be early on Patreon, but I'll release it on YouTube. For those of you who are impatient, though, go to Patreon, or you can hit like, subscribe, heart, retweet. If you're on X, just retweet it, let people know what's up. And or you can super chat in, like Lincoln Hawk here for 2 says happy Rex Manning Day. So there you go. For you sickos out there, for you Rex Manning sickos out there, and for you fans of Empire Records. So I got Big Bang. Thank you, Lincoln Hawk. We got Big Bang pulled up. We got AEW Dynamites on as well, and I'm excited for it. Let's get into, without further ado, Phil Marks bookmarks, and let's get into. I'm getting distracted by the Office trailer here because, of course, Steve Carell. We're gonna get into miscellaneous news here, ladies and gentlemen. This is light news. This is the intro to the show. Okay. And we have some bad news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So in Nuge, we got Nuge news, dude. History is made. Callum Newman becomes the youngest IWGP heavyweight champion ever. And he beat Yotatsuji, and I just don't know. I mean, I'm not watching Nuge all the fucking time, but just like from an outsider looking in, I just think Tsuji kind of. I mean, look at Callum Newman. It's just like if Kevin Nash were around, he'd call him a vanilla midget. No, and then Ospreay's there, like in a suit, part of this faction, and I guess like the rumors are that Blood and Guts is gonna be the Bumbaclaw clan versus these guys, like the United Empire. I believe that's what they're still called. And Ospreay, and they're going to bring Callum Newman in and all this shit. And it's just like, God damn it, man. No one cares. Like, you're finally finding a stride. You're going to bring in these dudes so that Ospreay. So I don't know. Whatever. We'll get to that in AEW news. But a mystery man showed up to distract Konosuke Takeshita, allowing Chase Owens to attack him. So there was a man in a mask. Shout out New Japan World, Sakura Genesis 2026. So here, I'll just skip ahead a bit. Shout out someone, he gets attacked by Owens. And then the dude just kind of takes off. So they're heating things up over there in New Japan. And in other Japanese wrestling news, I believe we got one more here. No, that was it. So moving along here in Luchadora, in Lucha Libre news, Catalina. CMLL announced, and she's trending right now, La Catalina. So shout her out. And I think, didn't she appear in AEW? Like, again, I'm not overly familiar with her, but she's definitely a name. It's like Persephone or whatever, like Zeusys. Like, I haven't seen a bunch of Zeusys matches, but I know the fucking name, right? So she has a name like that, La Catalina. And so CMLL announced that she officially left the company. And, you know, people are talking about the dual contracts and all of that. Here, I'm sure you guys are familiar with her. And she was being pushed, I guess, as like a major player in CMLL. But then Mercedes Mone came in and held the title for a long time. And so, according to Body Slam, sources indicate that La Catalina became unhappy with her booking in CMLL after just being featured as an extra filler talent recently. This comes after being prominently used last year, especially when she went up against Mercedes Monea at Fantastica Mania. While nothing is official, some believe that she could now be AAA bound. And so the rumors and innuendo are, it's been said that she will show up this Saturday. So do they have an event this Saturday? Because I know they release episodes that they pre-taped, also coming back very soon to commentary. Conan will be back with Corey Graves, so that'll be good. Yeah, so she was frustrated, and apparently she's going to show up in AAA very soon as like a fuck you. And let's face it, AAA could use some more women's wrestlers. They have a good handful of them, but she has a look where I feel like she could get over to American audiences as well. And that is obviously important to AAA, as we've seen, like they're starting to draw crowds in America and shit. So yeah, shout out La Catalina, and I hope the best for her. I'm not going to be like, oh, she needs to go over, but hey, there's a wrestling war going on, folks. There is a goddamn wrestling war going on. Speaking of which, Mance Warner made his ROH debut at Jacksonville. Now, the reason why I put this in miscellaneous news and not AEW, which maybe I should have just put it in AEW, but it's like, he could have just done a one-off there. He's already done one-offs in AEW like years ago. So he could have just did a one-off in ROH. Who knows if they're signing to AEW? Who knows if Tone even wants them? But he loves scooping TNA talent right now. That goes without saying. So yeah, do I picture these two possibly being in ROH? Yes. Did they want to do that? I don't know if they want to do that. These two probably make pretty good money on the indies as it is. And do you want to lock yourself up to like a per appearance thing with Tone in ROH? I don't know. I would be like, pay me main roster, like give me one of those all elite graphics and a salary, and then sure, I'll fucking. But until then, I'm not risking. Just me. I don't know. I'm not fucking Mance. Maybe he's like, that's dumb shit. I drink a beer and punch you in the face. That's cool too. You know? That's totally cool too, dude. And I'm with you. But I'm just saying I wouldn't don't get yourself entangled in any weird ROH shit, okay? That never works out. Look at Willie Mack. All right? So we move along here in indie wrestling news, I guess, right? Because that's ROH. Well, no, I guess we're talking about like the big companies, and I put this in miscellaneous news because it involves every company, as you can see here by this sweet graphic, or these sweet graphics Raj Giri compiled. Shout out at the Raj Giri. He says, since Nielsen changed their ratings methodology to favor cable shows on 126, SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision, and Impact have all seen big gains, but Collision by far has had the biggest increase. Here's a look at how the Nielsen change affected these shows. Now, without the Nielsen change, does TNA beat Collision? I don't know, but like, let's say the ratings are inflated or whatever. I was not obviously anticipating that. I genuinely, when I saw TNA kind of do the ratings they're doing, I was like, dude, they might kick Collision's ass on the first Thursday head to head, but nay. AEW was victorious. If we're just going by Nielsen, I don't know. But SmackDown averaged before the 123, so 943K viewers, up 34%, up 32% after the new system. Dynamite was up 31%, up 12%. Collision was up 94% and up 250%. We're talking overall ratings and then the key demo. Pardon me. So the first number I'm reading, 94%, that is for the overall rating. And then the key demo was up 250%. Like, is that not the wildest shit you've ever heard in your life? And they've had these lead-ins and stuff. I'm not trying to disparage Collision, but it's just like, Jesus Christ. That's insane. 250. Yeah, it's just the world's most popular show ever. The world's greatest increase in fucking live television ever out of nowhere. Right? So, and then Impact had an 18% increase, then 33% in the key demo. So everybody's feeling the effects and seeing the effects of this, you know, and then you can go week by week. Raj Giri breaks it down. I implore you all to check out. Well, he just says here, if you look beyond just episode 1, week to week, SmackDown is at a 21%, 29% increase, a 31 and a 50% for Dynamite. Collision was a 74 and 133% the next week. So it fell off over 100%, but it was still up 100. Or no, wait. Oh, no, episodes that were preempted or that aired on major holidays. So this actually wasn't week to week. I'm butchering it. It's all good. All you got to know is everyone's seeing a bump. Everyone's getting the Rogan bump, the Nielsen bump, right? So I don't know if we can cope about Dynamite, guys. I think we just got to fucking be like, they're doing good. No, am I wrong? Maybe I'm just being optimist Phil again. So we have like indie in particular news now, just getting away from the big companies. We're, of course, going to talk about AEW and WWE further, but big companies, one company rather creeping up that could be in the conversation alongside TNA and AEW sooner than later could be MLW. And they just signed Trevor Lee to an MLW deal, and they're signing people up. I mean, that's a good grab. And yeah, MLW's got to keep doing their thing. JCW's getting a bunch of hype because Tony Khan has been putting it over. Right? ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, have this gimmick going where there's like a protester. So in JCW, right, ran by the Insane Clown Posse, or owned by them rather, or Psychopathic at least, they are doing these real life, bro, let me tell you about these real life scenarios I'm pitching for pro wrestling, bro. And they're doing the same thing over here in Insane Championship Wrestling. There's this protester guy who I think it's a work, even though people thought it was a shoot at first. And I think I have his first thing in my Sickos segment somewhere, where he was like interrupting the show, protesting, and now he's taped himself to the ropes. Let's take a look. Is it a work? Is it a shoot, chat? You let me know.
Take it out of ICW.
Is it just stop insanity? Oh, here we go.
Is this Martin McAllister?
Oh, not again.
Hey!
Not again.
Get out here!
Here's Sean McLaughlin, the GM, out to try and help with the situation.
Oh, he's been out here, mate. He wants the insanity taken out of ICW.
Is it just
so this guy's protesting insanity. He wants the insanity taken out of ICW.
Stop insanity. Oh, here we go.
Just it, Daisy! Rip his heels off! Go for the nipples, Daisy!
Who do you support in this situation?
Daisy Jenkins all the way!
Well, you picked your side.
Honest to God, she'll rip his nipples off.
Rip his nipples off. Rip his ears off.
Get the smelly bag.
I'm with that, dude, man. When these fucking protesters, you be sitting in the middle of the road and shit. You get that ass runned over, dude. I don't give a... No, I'm joking.
How dare you? How dare you?
Rip his nipples off, dude. I'll run your nipples over, bro. So, moving along here in GCW... there is a story going on where Brody Lee Jr. and Joey Janela are beefing, and they signed the contract for their spring break match. And of course, Elbu was like, man, I really love that GCW's telling stories and using storytelling effectively to get people into the building. It's like, holy man, we're in the fucking Twilight Zone. But yeah, Brody Lee Jr. is there. Joey Janela, of course, has to bring up Luke Harper and Brody Lee Jr.'s mom, Amanda Huber, got into the mix.
Your mom already buried her husband. She doesn't want to bury her son as well.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Disgusting. Disgusting comment from the bad boy. We apologize to everyone watching at home. Brody Lee Jr. has become unglued.
Yeah, I don't know why the clip keeps fucking up, but you guys get it. This kid whoops his ass.
It is official.
So there you go. I don't know why the clip's doing that. So moving along here in NWA, this giant wrestler, Greta Wrestler, go and follow her. She has 220 followers. She's NWA's 18-year-old giant. By God, that's a giant, King. And she chokeslams Natalia Markova all the way to hell. And Tiffany Neves is there as well. And NWA's doing the damn thing. Shout out Billy Corgan. Look at this giant, King.
Markova's in trouble. Oh, my Lord.
We'll holler at you.
Nieves standing tall with the Burke.
So there you go. Studio Wrestling. They got a good turnout. They're doing their thing. Hopefully NWA can get into the mix there a little bit. Speaking of in the mix, SGW, Soft Ground Uganda Wrestling Championship, crowned a new champion. Let's take a look at the highlights. You can watch the full match on their YouTube channel. Oh, the Oscutter. My God. Hit him with the Oscutter. Hot temper, dude. He's got a hot temper. He's about to cool him off with the the package pile driver. No, that's not a package pile driver. That's like a fisherman driver. What do you call that? Like a package driver. Small package driver. Something like that. Captures the title. And by God, where's the cleaner? Get Kenny Omega out here to sweep this canvas up. Let's go, dude. Over as fuck, drawing huge crowds, drawing bigger crowds than like NWA and shit. So in like miscellaneous news, here's a reality TV news update here, or from this account, reality TV news update. The official 16 gladiators that will be featured in the American Gladiator. Here's all of their names and what shows they were on. So Steel is Jesse Goddard. You guys remember Jesse Goddard from, I think, like TNA, maybe NXT, OVW. So he was on Big Brother and House of Villains, I guess. And he was on that wrestler show a little bit. But his name's Steel in American Gladiators. Who else do we have? Let me see. Rick Boogs is called Bull. Wardlow is Fang. Okay, Camille is Hurricane. Here I am, and she dyed her hair red, so she's sporting a new look while she does this, which is probably the right move. And this chick who looks like Stifler's mom is called Crush. But yeah, we have some former pro wrestling's finest, I guess. Wrestlers. I don't know what I'm saying. Sheldon Cooper's in his gitchies right now. But yeah, Wardlow is Fang, and Boogs is Bull. Camille is Hurricane. Stand back, and then Goddard's is Steel. So there you go. In other wrestling news, NASA sent people to the fucking moon, and they were doing moon salts. Let's take a look. Just to show you the WWE universe and the PWT universe is universal, literally galactic.
Big show up on his shoulders. He's walking around with it. Can you believe it? No way.
Well, why don't you tell me if they went to the moon?
Underneath it, Styles rolls through. Sammy Zayn's got it. Thunderbomb. Look at Sammy. Look at Sammy. Sending it. DDT.
Didn't they? Isn't there like a bunch of aliens and UFOs being sighted and shit lately? Why the fuck would you send people to the moon? And why would they? They're practicing for the fight. When the xenomorph gets on deck, they'll be ready. They'll be ready to fight. Speaking of ready to fight and being inspired by pro wrestling, this is courtesy of DAZN Boxing. Wilder hit Derek Chisora with the "I love you," and then he says it back, "I love you too," and then Wilder just KOs him. This is a fantastically put together clip here.
The moment for the bronze bomber to land one huge shot. Or is there respect between
I love
the
you
pair?
too.
This is
And just hits
extraordinary.
him with the sweet
The ropes are loose, I think. I think the ropes are loose and he pushed him through, not on purpose. Just before he threw that right hand, he said to Chisora, "I love you." But listen, we love them both, but I mean, why didn't he tee off on Derek Chisora? I think there was some sort of respect there. I don't know about that. The moment for
So yeah, hit him with a little Ric Flair HBK. Woo! And that, ladies and germs, was miscellaneous news. That's the intro. We're still in the intro to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah, I would like to see. They're talking about possibly doing Ruiz Wilder 2 or something like that. Or did they rematch? Or did they ever even fight? Actually, I don't even think they fought. I don't even think they fought each other. It's playing Undisputed. And I fucking yeah, no, so that would be the first. Yeah, fucking do that. They haven't even fought. That's the fight you got to make right there. Yeah, fought Ortiz. Yeah, no, they didn't fight. They didn't fight. All these exhibition fights are a work. Yeah, I mean, boxing's a fucking work. What are we talking about? So Dynamite's about to start. We're going to talk about TNA right now and AEW as well. So let me just pull this up. So here we got, I'm just seeing some Linda McMahon shit. She just said she's not running for president. Okay, she was on Planet Tyrus, whatever. Doesn't matter. Let's get into, I'm pulling up this TNA news. Yeah. Yeah, why would we go to space when the aliens are here? That's what I'm saying. Aren't people scared that like fucking UFOs are going to shoot them down? And why don't you tell me why we went to the moon, Piers? I was down in the Baja. I know nothing of these aliens of which you speak. So let me just drink some coffee here, and then let's get into TNA. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, It is time for TNA News. Per PW Insider, TNA World Champion Mike Santana's contract is set to expire this summer, and he's already drawing significant interest from WWE. I mean, we kind of already knew that, Chad, didn't we? So it is what it is. He's probably more than likely going to sign up with WWE. So don't be shocked if and when that happens. We move along in TNA Impact viewership. Actually, we go over here to Ash by Elegance. She talks about her recent health issues. Shout out Cultaholic for posting this story. And she said, I'm still going through it, which is crazy. You don't have to have an injury. What I'm going through is a health issue. A lot of people, especially in my situation, I don't look sick. I feel good today, but tomorrow might not. So it's definitely a health issue. My issue is weird. They call it like a medical mystery. I've done so many things. I spent numerous days in the ICU that nobody really knows about because I haven't put it out there. Yeah, it seems like they're just brawling right away on this AEW show. They're just setting up and he's wearing his suit like he was in Japan. So yeah, it's just the Bumba Clock Clan versus these guys. Sorry, we're focusing here on Ash by Elegance and her very serious health issue, not a heart issue. I had thought personally it could have been a heart issue just because it's like, what else makes you last minute be like, I'm fucking done or whatever, like I'm done wrestling. It's like your heart or your brain or something, but it could be like some autoimmune shit or something like that. And I'm just praying for her and I hope she does well. And yeah, you got to take it day by day and hopefully she does okay. Okay, so can we just talk about Dynamite for a second here? With absolutely no explanation. Was that not Alex Windsor? Just with this group, like just as the chick they can call to. And it's just all these wrestlers nobody knows, man. I just don't know if this was the way to do this. It's kind of cool how they're just like wearing suits and they come in like all Pulp Fiction or whatever. That's cool, but that's like heel shit. It feels more like heel shit. You're invaders or whatever. And like, maybe is this how they turn the Bumba Clock Clan fully babyface? It just seems like they're rushing this to do whatever blood and guts, and then Mox will just keep being face. Then Osprey's still supposed to be a face. That's the problem with this, right? So like they're talking about how he competed in Japan for the first time in 2 years and shit. Like, it's just super random. How random is this? Truly. Sorry, guys. I'm just watching. Like, so now Windsor's just in this group and like, obviously she's a brawling bird, but like what? Her tag partner's just like, no, I won't come in 2-on-1 with you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. The crowd's dead. The crowd doesn't know what to cheer for because they don't know who the fuck these people are. So the Death Riders are good guys? Excalibur yelling at us, who everyone is, over the commentary, isn't it? And they're in Edmonton, remember? They're in fucking Edmonton. I'm telling you, like, nobody knows who the fuck any of these people are. Like, when you go to Edmonton with AEW, just give them the stars and the names of everyone they know so that they go, I'll check out this AEW stuff more. Yeah, I just sorry guys, I had to just lock in on that. So patreon.com/pro wrestle times. I don't know if you here, I'll pull up a card as well for this. I don't even think I did it earlier. AEW Dynamite card. I don't even know if there is. So it's United Empire versus Death Riders in the main event. The United Empire, all we've seen of them is Fletcher and Davis, who are in the Callis family now and have been doing their own things for so long, and they barely teamed in AEW before they were both injured and shit. I don't know if this is the move at all. If you go to Edmonton, all you should do is like, okay, we're going to bring out Edge and Christian and Omega and MJF and Swerve and like all the ex-WWE guys. You just do that and make them go, oh, this is cool. And then make them want to watch it again. And then if you're a TV viewer at home, you're like, why are Ospreay and Windsor wearing suits? And why isn't Windsor with her tag partner? Like, what the fuck is going on, you know? So I don't know, man. Back into TNA news, ladies and gentlemen. So in other news here, TV rating news, TNA Impact viewership was down from recent weeks. However, the 18 to 49 rating was tied for its best. Impact averaged 200K viewers, down 22%, with a 0.05 even in the key demo. Per Programming Insiders, always these numbers don't include AMC Plus or Impact Plus. The overall audience was the lowest since whatever, but since January, but the end of January there. But the 18 to 49 was tied with 4 other episodes as the best yet. So just goes to show you that Collision may have had an effect, but that key demo, like people, the youngsters, I think, lean more into the story and the characters you can sink your teeth into more than just like flip. That's like, again, as Dave Meltzer and all of these, as Tony Khan said on the Coach and Bro, like it's like an elitist thing that they're
poor people don't like AEW,
even though they like to pretend it's not, and they want to, they want to cope over expensive ticket prices, even though they'd sell tickets the same price if they could. But this story broke here. Speaking of the wrestling wars, and the narrative, guys, is TNA versus AEW. I knew it would be. I knew it would heat up after that first collision. If TNA had a won, it would have heated up more. All good. WrestleMania week, so not this week, but in 1 week. They go head-to-head on Thursday again, I think, with an overlap hour. So hopefully TNA figures out whatever they're doing. And we've seen Tony Khan poaching talent. And again, a long time ago on this show, I had told you motherfuckers that MLP and AEW have like a partnership. They have for a long time. Like, I know for longer than TNA and WWE have had a partnership. Now I know that MLP and some of the wrestlers, like they had talked about like, oh, is there going to be a conflict of interest? And they were like, no, we can work with anyone, blah, blah, blah. And they sort of flex that on everybody in AEW's case, like Billy Gunn or whoever goes over there, right? But as this wrestling war has started to heat up and Tone is actually being reactionary and actually worried about TNA, because he's at least thinking about it. You know how Tone's so petty and shit towards WWE. He claims he's taking the high road with TNA, but he's poaching the fuck out of their talent and all of these things, right? It's true what you're seeing. And now we're seeing where WWE's being responsive to that, and maybe it's even TNA being responsive to it, saying like, dude, we just don't want to, like, we'll have wrestlers wrestle on MLP, but it just can't be against AEW people. Now, if New Japan's smart, they cut a deal with WWE, that's the same thing. They cut a goddamn deal with WWE where it's just like, yes, we'll work with you, but no, you won't wrestle AEW guys. Oh, you don't want them on this card? Sure, no problem. Give us Randy Orton for a one-off when we're in fucking Chicago this next year or whatever. Maybe not him, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like, that could totally benefit New Japan. They won't fucking do it because Tanahashi-san loves Tone. Either way, what went down here, and I've been saying it, TNA is like WWE's Canadian territory. MLP is like AEW's Canadian territory. And the other thing is that if anything gets over in MLP, Tone gets like dibs on it. At least that's what I heard. I don't know. I'm not a dirt sheet. I'm a Mark Redact with a fucking podcast. But according to Mike Johnson from PWI, TNA's Moose was set to perform at the MLP Multiverse show. But after TNA approved the appearance, there was a change made and he's been pulled. The belief is he would have been in the ring with talents from another promotion, possibly AEW. The rumblings over the past few days is that TNA has had a change of heart about letting their talents in the ring with talents contracted to other companies. And it's not just other companies, it's AEW because that's who they are in direct competition with. And now that Maple Leaf Pro got a deal on TSN, now they're like, oh shit. Now we got Canadian competition too, buddy. Can I finish? Please, can I finish? Okay, I'm finished. And so the stories making the rounds is that TNA would not want their talents in the ring with talents from opposing promotions, especially if those events could stream live or be taped for future release. The concern, based on what we are hearing, seems to be centered around the idea that someone could conceivably show TNA talents in a bad light or losing on their rival programming. Whether that is a concern that AMC brought up now that they are carrying TNA Thursday Night Impact, or even TNA partners WWE's concern, we cannot confirm at this time. Now, a lot of people are like, it's WWE, man, and all this shit. But all I'm saying is this: we got CMLL versus AAA, and who's taking Catalina? We got fucking TNA. Tessa Blanchard goes out there and works in CMLL, and it's like, what the fuck? They're partnered with WWE. And we got WWE partnered with TNA. We got MLP getting a TV deal partnered with AEW. The wrestling wars are in full fucking effect, buddy, and I'm here.
This is great.
And it's awesome because it's really great, Tone, because now the conversation is where it should be too, as far as AEW versus TNA, because that's what the conversation should be. That's what it was. I told you, motherfuckers, that's what it's gonna be, and that's what it is. Okay, WWE, just let it be its own goddamn thing. And it's so funny how the monopolization shit, like, they're all good with MLP working with AEW, the Sickos and shit, but people are all hoity-toity and mad about TNA and WWE, and the real conversation should be AEW versus TNA as far as like what's number two, right? But realistically, I don't know, like in a way, if we're talking two different camps, I guess AEW is like the A, whereas MLP or whatever other company would be the B in comparison, right? If we're talking there's two different camps, I guess AEW is the A Fed and then WWE would be the A Fed, but WWE is just ahead of everything. So, and it's like NXT and TNA and all that shit and AAA versus AEW, TNA, or pardon me, MLP and CMLL and whatnot. And I love it. It's heating up, and we have some wrestlers commenting on the shit. So Carlos Silva made a statement, or actually, let's read this. So there's a fear, according to Fightful, because of course they jump in and think about it, right? Like, you don't want Finger Shea beating Leon Slater. You don't want fucking, you don't want Mike Santana getting beat by MJF on one of these shows, and then WWE's like, we're bringing Mike Santana in and shit. So there's a fear within the indies that Leon Slater and Nick Nemeth will be pulled from planned matches with Ricochet and MJF respectively. There's a fear within the indies. Oh, I'm so scared right now. Like fucking Brett Lauderdale's like, oh, there's a fear. I'm terrified. Walk. Don't run from the fucking fear of Nick Nemeth getting pulled off this show. Oh my God. So within the indies, they're terrified right now that TNA talent can't wrestle AEW talent anywhere. Those spoken to believe Nemeth is pushing for the MJF match to remain. The immediate reaction we got from TNA was that Carlos Silva was okay with TNA wrestlers working MLP, but people close to MLP heard that Silva wasn't happy about AEW running Collision opposite Impact last week, even though that was a WBD decision again. Well, it's actually WBD's decision. And to defend Tony Khan, Carlos, they were moving their show to Thursday before you ever did a fucking Thursday show. You should be happy they moved it to that night on that night. And why would you be mad? It's a fucking wrestling war, bud. So even though that was a W, I just feel like this is Fightful and that like this is just people trying to spin it to be anti-Fed and TNA and shit. That's my opinion. But TNA Impact last week, even though that was a WBD decision, as AEW has seemed to like the college basketball lead-in that weekends have brought. So we move along here. And Carlos Silva told Sean Ross Sapp, he says that TNA wrestlers have been pulled from some shows due to partner conflicts. Okay?
Wrestling's not fake!
So, again, partner who? AMC, WWE, doesn't fucking matter. It's an amalgamation of all of those things. You factor everything in, and this was inevitably going to happen. All right? And it's the best thing that could happen because people are talking about the wrestling war. Let's see it heat up. WWE's got to get their shit together in a lot of regards creatively. But as far as TNA versus AEW, oh yes, I'm all for this shit. I cannot wait for more of it. And next week, we're going to see what the ratings do. And we'll see. Imagine the day someone from AEW jumps over to TNA, maybe. That could happen too. Who knows? But yeah, Carlos Silva, I guess, flat out told Sapp, you know, there's partner conflicts, quote unquote. So that is what it is. MJF versus and then Dave Meltzer has to jump on the train. MJF versus Nick Nemeth is still expected to happen, but there has been an attempt to get it blocked by on. So, there's that. And MJF, where's Moose's tweet? Did Moose delete his fucking tweet? God damn, he must have. Let me look this shit up. Where's Moose? Moose. Dun, dun. I think he deleted his... Yeah, Stooges everywhere. Moose deleted his goddamn tweet. So Moose tweeted some shit out and he was like, I just don't know why this is leaving the office. He's like, look, shit happens. Business is business. But why is it leaving the office? And like I quote tweeted it and I was like, Stooges everywhere, bud. Because there is. That's the problem with wrestling right now. But MJF, fucking, I'm going to give this shit a heart and a retweet. Okay? He fucking shoots here. Well, again, people like Wrestle purists were like, statement from MJF, like he's a kayfabe character. Okay, it's like if SpongeBob put a tweet out talking shit about Krusty Plankton, we'd be like, all right, it's literally what this is. But anyways, he goes, "Welp, Nick Nemeth and TNA are afraid of the AEW World Champion. Shame old Carlos doesn't care about the fans or his roster getting paid. I'll still be there, Create Pro. Let's see if Nikki still has the balls to show up to Long Island. In the meantime, I'm in Canada, anxiously waiting to hear God, Kenny Omega, try to convince the world I'm not going to whoop his ass on April 12th. And so he's doing the right thing, MJF, by calling. It looks like Nick Nemeth and TNA are afraid of the world champ, and he's like making it about him too. It's fucking choice. This was a good tweet. I like this. This is gonna work people up. People are gonna get mad. Oh, it's okay when they take shots, but now when that take shots, I can't wait. I love it. But MJF doing the right thing. I had Moose's shit bookmarked too, but he deleted it. And so I don't know what TNA wrestlers are saying. This will develop, I'm sure, over the week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA. So AEW is making news and shit. So let me bookmark this. We will get into AEW news next. I think that's the move. And speaking of AEW, we're gonna head over here. Takeshita's in here doing his thing. Who's watching Dynamite? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, so they just made a match I'm adding to the bookmarks here. Okay, they're doing some stuff. They're in Edmonton. We got quite a bit of AEW news here tonight, ladies and germs. Speaking of AEW, someone who recently returned to AEW, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let it get wild! Yay!
So, ladies and gentlemen, all together now, Ichi Nissan da, because it's time for AEW news. That means it's time to go crazy. And of course, it means the best guys,
Tony Khan.
So in AEW news, we have the Chris Jericho return video. Everyone's covered that to death. Obviously, he came back to AEW, and I don't know. There's lots of rumors flying around. We're going to talk about that in just a second when it comes to Tony Khan, who is on Coach and Bro. And here's Chris Jericho, a little behind the scenes of his return.
All right, here I am in the parking garage of the MTS Center in Winnipeg. It is 6:50, and in 10 minutes, I'm going to shock the world by returning to AEW. Join the ride.
So he's selling the game. He looks very happy. He looks rested. He actually looks good. And so one thing that came out of the Coach and Bro show, which I think is cope personally, and I think that two things were lies during that Coach and Bro interview. I did a 2-hour watch along, guys, where I EFAP'd it. So make sure you check that out. And I did that yesterday. Shout out to everybody who turned out for that. But behind the turnbuckle, drop this clip. I just want to play it for you. We don't have a bunch of Coach and Bro clips. I already covered it, but I just wanted to play this one because it pertains to Jericho. And there was 2 lies that I think Tone was lying about.
We've had that circled for a long time, going back to last year, and was a choice that Chris made, that he'd rather be in AEW than wrestling anywhere else. And I think that's awesome. So I can't say for sure, Coach, exactly what his mind was and where he was thinking, but I know that he definitely always has been consistent that he loves AEW and that he wants to be here. And I'm glad that he chose.
So Tone kept repeating he wants to be here. He chose us. He wants to wrestle in AEW. And then there was another cope during the Shane McMahon part where he's like, I don't know. It could have been anyone. It could have been a fan. It could have been a wrestler. I was at the airport. It could have been anybody who walked in that room. And it's like, Tone, you guys met for 20 minutes in a conference room. I bet you 2 people walked in. You know, there was probably 3 people total who walked in and out of that room. And you and Shane were both like, your intern walked in, you set that up. And he even went as far as to cope and be like, and you can tell in the picture, Shane McMahon doesn't look surprised, but I look very surprised. It's great. And it's like, okay, obviously you set that up. And like your intern walked in with coffees and snapped a picture and then leaked it out. I had no idea. So there was that. And then this part where he's like, Jericho chose this place and he chose it here. Now, I've floated the theory, what if he's held hostage? Like, what if he just doesn't want the MAGA shit and all the sicko shit to be brought up as far as like Kylie Ray or whatever, who is under contract with WWID and whatnot in WWE. Like, maybe they don't want that shit dug up and, oh, MAGA guy goes to the MAGA. And maybe he's held hostage by the sickos. We know that Tone would pay him infinite amount of bucks to keep him. We know that guys like Cutie Marshall has EVP status, apparently. So I wouldn't be shocked, and I've floated this theory for like years now, that Jericho likely has EVP power in the company. I bet he does. I bet he's like an executive of some sort. We just don't, he doesn't flex it, and it might not even be on pay. Who knows what his pay stub says, right? But he may have wanted to go to WWE, and he might not want to be there. And there may be a lot of talent who think that this isn't good creatively or financially for AEW, for all we know. They might think that this isn't one of Tony Khan's best choices to bring Jericho back in. And it's like a personal thing for Tone not to lose Jericho. So that could be true too, right? What do I know? I don't. Lex, what do you know?
I don't know.
Me neither, bud. So
in AEW, because that's a choice he made because he was a free agent.
So they confirmed, though, he was a free agent, or at least Tone's saying that. Okay. So shout out Jericho, just getting paid in the fucking shade. But if he's not on like the Dynamites going forward, if he's not on this show tonight, I think he's supposed to be. But I mean, it's just if he's like on, because they're in Canada still. So if they leave Canada and he's not on like the next show that they do in like Ohio or whatever, is it going to get over? Is he going to get a pop when they go back to, or are they going to chant please retire? I don't fucking know. I don't know if it was the right move for Jericho, but in AEW, one thing I know for sure is that everybody either stagnates or they regress. At least traditionally, at least as we've seen over the last 7 years, for the most part, the vast majority of people. And Jack Perry showed up on the indies and teamed up with Marco Stunt. GCW.
It's Jack Perry, the AEW National Champion is here. Jungle Boy has returned to Game Changer Wrestling, and he's coming to the aid of his old buddy Marco Stunt.
So again, dude, and he's fighting. This is the Fuego guy, I think, that teamed with what's his face? Cody Rhodes.
the assist. It's like riding a bike here, Mose.
So Marco Stunt's back wrestling. I don't know, man. I don't know if this is the move all the way. I got to be perfectly honest. But you got to do something. Jack Perry got a bit of a pop in Edmonton there. But speaking of doing stuff on the indies and just stagnating or regressing, the Acclaimed also reunited. Another AEW tag team reuniting, not in AEW, and getting a pop. They were at Wrestle Pro X, and Bowens called Caster back into the ring after they fought each other. So not only did they end their AEW feud in this indie, but they reunited.
Taking it and biting the forehead. Oh, what the hell? Pulled out all the stops there, and now he's in position for it, Pete.
No one's ever said that Max is beneath it.
There it is.
Mic drop.
Right in
Mic
the heart.
drop. 2.
How the fuck did they fumble the Acclaimed?
No, wait, no.
Reversal by Bowens. A reversal and a win. Nice. By Bowens.
Here is your winner, Anthony Bowens.
This is going to be in the ring again with each other, so I figure why not call it a truce? Nothing else needs to be said except for this.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Calm down, Pete. No, calm down, Pete. Put the damn fingers down.
Scissor me, Daddy!
I'm not scissoring anybody. Let the guys, let them do it in the ring.
Yeah, man. So Bowens, I just don't see why, like, he's obviously still signed to AEW. I don't see why they didn't do more with him. I don't know how old he is. We're ageist here at PWT, so we'll look it up. Anthony Bowens' age. 35. So, like, he could go to NXT. I think he'd fit the vibe there. I'm not saying he'd be like the world beater, but he's a solid wrestler. He's in shape, and he's on these fucking red carpets and shit. WWE's at the Tudums. You got Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan walks out, the Usos. All of a sudden, Bowens is just like, what's up? I'm here too. What the fuck? AEW, do something with this guy. It's crazy. And he's at all these fucking award shows and stuff. I don't know, man. Get his ass to like NXT. Maybe he's like a mid-low guy. You know, mid guy, get people over. I don't fucking know. Not to like shit on his wrestling or whatever, but like if you're up there, I don't know, Netflix crossover. Maybe they got an acting gig for him. Pat McAfee can be in whatever Pat McAfee's next flick is, or maybe he just likes doing his thing on the indies. I'm not too sure. But speaking of doing their thing on the indies, you know what they say about the indies.
Sometimes
you know
in
what they
life,
say.
You gotta be a hoe.
And so Mercedes Mone reflects on her awesome 13-belt collector run worldwide after dropping titles to various independent wrestlers. And this is via Big League Live. And she dropped all of her titles and is now going to come back to, and again, I get it. I get why AEW doesn't want to like showcase her dropping all of her titles and then have her win their major title. I get that. Then you shouldn't have brought all the titles on TV. But I digress. Mercedes Mone is going to go back to AEW. I think she's going to win this goddamn title at All In, the AEW women's title. And it's the one during this massive Ultimo Dragon style title reign with 13 titles or 14 titles or whatever. She never captured the AEW world title. It eluded her, or the ROH world title, but she captured every other title, including the TBS title, including the ROH, I think, TV title, or whichever one it was. And then she dropped them all one by one by one by one by one by one. She's going to come back. I think they're hoping she gets a big pop, and she is going to win that AEW women's world title. I think that's what's best for business for them. I don't really know. It's not like, I don't think she draws crazy, but maybe on a babyface run, she'll kind of draw again, or maybe not. Who knows? It's convenient. The ratings are up, quote unquote, and she's coming back. But she at least went out and did what she said she was going to do. She wrestled everywhere except for Malaysia, which we're going to talk about in a second. But she wrestled everywhere and dropped the titles to all these people. You can call them random, maybe you know some of them, but she dropped all of these titles. Now, does it help those indies? While she was there, it did help the indies. It did help the 10 shows. It did help these shows. According to the promoters, according to even WrestleTix covered some of her shows. Even, I don't know, people were making fun of that tent show she did in Europe. Motherfucker, that tent was packed. There was more people there than at fucking NWA. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out Mone. I'm glad that she did her thing. Let's take a look at this stuff. This is going to be funny. And then she refused this came out at a good time, I guess, good press wise, because I guess she couldn't or refused to go to Malaysia or whatever. I don't blame her, but she shouldn't have won that shit. But also the Malaysia title, she lost to that Phoenix girl, whatever the fuck her name is. I forget her name, but her name is like Phoenix. Her last name or her work name or her, I don't know what it is, like George Rush St. Pierre. It's like her nickname. I don't know. Phoenix. She was featured she had a WWE tryout and she wasn't featured on NXT, but she was sitting in the crowd at NXT and they showed her on TV and shit. I don't think they gave her a graphic or anything, but she was sitting right there front row in NXT. So maybe they're eyeing her up, and she had a match that people were saying was pretty great. It was great with Mercedes Mone, and she dropped that title to Mone. So maybe there's something like that going on too, where they're like, well, nah, we're IDing you. You're not wrestling her. And even if it means beating her, though, I don't know if they'd go that far. I doubt it's anything. I'm just throwing out a conspiracy theory. It's probably that she just didn't want to. Tony Khan's private jet is being used. It's booked up that day by the fucking Young Bucks and Cutie Marshall. And so Mercedes Mone doesn't want to fly out to Malaysia.
Sometimes
probably,
in life you got to be a hoe.
if we're being honest. But let's see. Get past this as we
Honestly,
go.
the best experience I've
Honestly, the best experience I've ever.
I can't say ever. I've done a lot in my career, but it's one of
Carrera.
the best experience I've had in my career, just because.
Carrera. Did you hear that, Carrera?
Man, I've met some of the best wrestlers. And I've wrestled some of the greatest women's wrestlers.
Greatest women's wrestlers.
Because I got to come to Europe, and man, it's been so incredible getting to wrestle the women that I've inspired. And someone like Diana, who I wrestled last time I was here in Poland, and to hear her story, it's an honor. And it's crazy to see how far she's come since the last time I was here, the last time I wrestled her. And tonight it was just so magical.
So magical.
Hearing the crowd reaction for her. They were louder for her than they were for me, which is amazing. And
I don't know if that's a good. Nobody tell Tony Khan. He
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Forget his fucking what he's paying you, girl. Jesus Christ. Then why isn't she the highest paid fucking women's wrestler? Because it ain't like you're coming back to AEW and putting 2,000 more asses in the seat or whatever.
It's incredible. The best women wrestlers are here in Europe, and I got to discover that firsthand. It's been
the best women's wrestlers are in Europe, but I thought AEW is where the best wrestlers.
Such an honor being here.
And then Queen Aminata, speaking of which, she comes back after a long ass layoff, a serious injury. She's back and she's just gonna do the job to Willow. Aminata just gets title matches or is in title eliminators to just do the job. It's get her ass to NXT already. Jesus.
And seeing the growth of women's wrestling.
Seeing the growth of women's wrestlers.
It's incredible. I was talking to my camera guy up there, just saying, I remember being in the independents and guys watching our matches and going to the monitor and going to the curtain just to yell bad shit at us and to not care about it. But now people are running to the monitor, they're running to the curtain to cheer us, to honor us, to support us, and to
support us. And so are they really running to the monitors to check y'all's match? She's talking like she's revolutionizing women's wrestling again. It's her narrative that she's created, that she's running with. Totally fine, right? Carney's going to Carney. Worker's going to work. But with that being said, I'm not entirely sure that it's factual. It's based in reality. Okay. Whereas the first women's revolution, she really was a part of in WWE. But as far as this, I don't know.
Watch us in the main event. We're the only women's match tonight, and we were the main event. We got to close out the show because we are the best at what we do. And
Best at what we do. And Queen Aminata hit her version of like the butt bounce move. And then the crowd was trying to hit her with the like they do Vaquer. So there you go, sickos. You Edmontonian sickos. And then she was like twerking a little bit there. And I'm telling you, man, Aminata's got to fucking mosey on, find her way to NXT. I don't know. She was hurt for a long time, so that's probably not possible. But anyways, let's move along here. Well, it's just
been such an honor to be a part of women's wrestling, to see how far it's grown, to see the next generation just take over.
Just take over.
Makes me so happy that I
makes
know
me
women's
so
wrestling
happy.
is good hands for the future.
You know
Because
that
that's all I want.
if we keep
'Cause I love wrestling.
doing it this way, I love wrestling so much, and they will keep going to the monitor if we keep going this way.
So much. And
so much.
It's so important to show the fans that we can do it just like the guys, but even better. And we prove that weekly. We prove that on TV. We prove that in the independents.
With everyone around me saying you must be so happy now.
I just hope these girls these ladies she wrestled all over the world, like get the rub, and that they are able to like parlay that into like this was this lady's dream come true right here. So, yeah, I just hope that they make more. I don't know what to fucking tell you. I just hope that they draw houses and the indies blow up in whatever obscure country, and hopefully Mone contributed to that stuff. And we move along here, though. Speaking of Mercedes Mone, I guess she was quote unquote exposed for where is this here? She was exposed for two things, right? Not going to Malaysia. Did I not bookmark this shit? Yeah, so she vacates her final title after travel issues. So instead of dropping it, she vacates it. The record books will say I vacated it, right? And so according to the Mone Mega, she says, while I was in London, I had to make a tough call. I sent the Malaysia Championship back. My team and I really tried to make things work. We put in the effort, had the conversations, and explored every option. But at the end of the day, sometimes in life, you got to be a hoe. They told us they didn't have the budget to fly me out and weren't open to working with other promotions for me that just didn't align with the vision. So I made the decision to vacate the title. And look, this business isn't always easy. Not every partnership works out the way you hope. But I've learned to stand firm in my worth, my time, and what I bring to the table. Every title I hold means something. Every move I make has purpose. So even though it wasn't easy, you better be easy. It was necessary because growth sometimes means letting go. Let it go. Let it go. Trust me, I'm always moving forward. That's a terrible remix, I know. So yeah, she just decided not to drop that title. I wonder if there's some like something to do with WWE ID being a problem in there. I can't imagine why it would have been, especially if she was going to drop the title. But they weren't willing to budge. And so the APAC promoter says Mercedes Mone travel story is it accurate? Claims he has proof. So shout out Ringside News for both of these articles. So his name's Shaukat, and he addressed the situation. He said, I woke up on 3 hours of sleep to a flood of text tags and questions. So let me say this clearly. I have nothing but respect for Mercedes Mone. She is a global star in high demand, and I understand that her schedule and travel limitations are real. But the public narrative being pushed does not fully reflect what actually happened. We did try. We did explore working with other promotions because that was what was asked of us. I personally reached out, followed up, and tried to make multiple scenarios work. I also need to correct this clearly. I did not ask other promotions to fly my wrestler in for us. I have the text and email receipts to back that up, and I am prepared to stand on that truth if necessary. I openly said I would take on extra work and secure sponsors to try and bring Mercedes to Malaysia. That ultimately was not workable, which I understand, so we were pushed to explore solutions abroad instead. To Mercedes, I sincerely apologize for any public discomfort that was caused. I still have respect for you and understand you were likely speaking from what was communicated to you. While I was in London, I had to make a tough call. I sent the Malaysia Championship back. And that's what Mone said. My team and I really tried to make things work. We read that. And so basically, like, he won't send, basically, he ain't sending that Phoenix gal to America, whoa, to fucking win the title. And he can't fly Mercedes out. And whatever accommodations he was, it seems sketchy to her. Or whatever. I don't blame her for that in any way, shape, or form. And I believe that, didn't that Phoenix gal come to America, to wrestle Mone in the first place? So I don't blame her for not doing the Malaysia one. Shout out Malaysia, though. Unfortunate, but it's like the last title, and she has plans with AEW and whatever he's working out, extra sponsors, whatever. She's just like, this don't work for me, brother. Now, people thought she was going to vacate all 13 titles. She had to vacate one, so you can't really clown it, right? But one title Mercedes Mone did hold that she's kind of getting shitted on for right now in the IWC. No Vince McMahon, is the CMLL title, which she held, and it directly relates to La Catalina. We covered this earlier, but let's say you're listening to this in clip form. Sources indicate that La Catalina became unhappy with her booking in CMLL after just being featured as an extra filler talent recently. This comes after being prominently used last year, especially when she went up against Mercedes Mone at Fantastica Mania. While nothing is official, some believe that she could now be AAA bound. A lot of people think she's going to show up in AAA. I think one of the dirt sheets was saying like it could be this Saturday. I don't know if they're taping this Saturday or if it's already taped shows, so I don't know if that would make sense, or if they have a live event or some shit, or if that was just some Mark online talking complete and utter shit. I'm actually not sure, but I did see floating around that it could be right away. So shout out La Catalina. Again, it's a name I don't know her body of work, but like, you've heard the name, you know. I said before, it's like Zeusys or one of these girls. You've heard of them. I'm not like overly familiar, but I trust people say she rules. Well, she has a look, clearly, right? I mean, tell me that WWE, NXT, AAA can't market that. She breaks Flammer's streak. Ooh, shots fired. The wrestling wars continue. I'm down with it, right? But this guy posted this. Hio de Sayas says, ever since the AEW women's roster started making more appearances in CMLL, it's worth noting that La Catalina stopped being used in higher positions on the card instead of relegated to openers with no relevancy. So a lot of people are like, well, AEW's offering dual contracts. Like, why didn't she sign? And people are just pointing out, like, look, she was promoted as like the next best thing. Her year came, and then fucking Mone slides in and carries their title during this 13 title run, and she's just sort of put on the back burner and isn't offered a fucking dual contract, right? So, or maybe she just didn't want one. Maybe they offered her one and she was like, fuck that. Who knows? I don't know. But Mercedes Mone getting dragged a little bit because everybody knows what this means. Like, ever since the AEW's women's roster, you know, well, Mercedes came in and won that CMLL title, didn't she? And they've had other AEW girls in the mix there, ladies, women in the mix there. So I don't know. Speaking of ladies in CMLL, the Mexican Council of Lucha Libre reports that Thunder Rosa will be a part of the CMLL roster under a dual contract modality with All Elite Wrestling. So again, Thunder Rosa finally comes back. Thank God we just saw Sheeta standing in the crowd, and I hope they use her more finally, because I was always a Sheeta fan. Thunder Rosa, I think, is a huge fucking fumble, but again, it might be too little too late as far as like can we really market and get her over to the masses? And can she go like she could 4 years ago or whatever the fuck? I don't know, but her and CMLL is a plus, and she's under a dual contract. And Tone, I think this should have happened. I mean, I know she was injured, but this happened, I guess, at the right time, right? Because she was dealing with injuries and stuff. But I think, like, as far as what she could have done for AEW or even a WWE in her prime, like, again, she got scooped up when AEW was grabbing the few NWA people everyone liked. So she's there in CMLL. Shout out Thunder Rosa. And I was hoping one day, again, we'd see her like somehow creep into AAA. It could happen. But yeah, she's doing what she can. And yeah, we covered that. Let's look at what else is going on here. I want to put over here. Let me check in the chat here. Sorry. Yoda Cola 23's been a member for 24 goddamn months. Let's fucking go.
Acknowledge me.
You see that Darth Maul show? You guys watching Daredevil? That shit was good, man. We got Invincible tonight. So Mystico, Hechicero, Persephone, Thunder Rosa, Claudio all have dual contracts. Yeah, it's all dual contracts now. And having 20-minute matches full of sloppy slams. AAA can't afford Thunder Rosa. No, you're right. You are right. TD Love 420 has been a member for 24 months. Guys, become a member. It's only 99 cents. Join us for Memba Mondays, which always rule. Hit like, subscribe if you want to support all that good shit. You can super chat in. Check out patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. And thank you so much for 24 months of goddamn membership. I appreciate that, dude. Let me acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me.
So let's get into we have some more news here. What are we going to do next? So let's get into the boring stuff here. I just want to get some coffee in me, and we will get into the boring stuff. We'll talk ratings and attendance and whatnot. And I think we have Jericho coming up, right? I might want to lock in for Jericho. Yeah, I'm glad he's on this show, but once they leave Canada, like, is it going to... Is it going to work? I just really don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and germs, I think Jericho's up next, right? Catalina was in NXT years ago. Right. If you're in NXT, like I know Bowens was in NXT. He had like a couple matches, I think, years ago. If you're in NXT like years ago, yes, like you can come back and be effective. It's not like once you go there, if you don't make it, you're done forever. It ain't like that, especially not in WWE. Especially not like that in WWE. You know, that's where you can come back and have a story like a Punk or a Cody Rhodes is the perfect example. Sean Anigans 158 for 20. Huge support. God damn. Thank you for the huge support. You know what they say.
Sometimes in life you got to be a hoe.
And Sean Anigans knows that. Making it rain over here. So for 20 says, here's what I don't get. Tony wants credit for helping all these indies. True. And yet he still has a bunch of workers sitting at home. Right. And he fucking does things like pulls Ricky Saints off of a show, replaces him with Jericho, brings Matt Cardona in to headline his Dynamite that sold less tickets than the following GCW show in the same building. Okay. He's done a bunch of shit like that. I don't get it at all. And I don't get why all of those indies Mone went and fought women on and won those belts. They should have worked out a deal to upload those matches to their YouTube and socials at least, and like give it a push, give it a fucking promotion, right? And like, I'm with you on that. I don't know if he's approached it the right way. It almost seems like he has tried to separate from, like, he wants to be his own thing. No, we're AEW, but we work with the fucking indies, but we don't really want to feature and talk about the indies. And now this is the problem with ID and all that. Now we're getting in a situation where at what point does WWE ID go like, hey, we don't fuck with GCW unless AEW people aren't allowed to win or whatever on this show. Like, does that ever happen? I'm sure Lauderdale would just back out of that, certainly. But it's interesting to see like where this is all going to go in the years to come and who's really about it. And again, Tony Khan, like low key has a partnership with MLW. Tony Khan low key is running ROH, doesn't really do shit with it. It's like, does he really love the indies or does he just like owning everything? I don't fucking know. But yeah, great question. And thank you so much. Round of applause for the huge support. Thank you. Now, Chris Jericho is here right now in Edmonton. That's awesome. Again, if he's not on like future Dynamites, this could be a problem. When they go to Ohio again or Chicago, this could be a problem. And I know I've said that a billion times, but we need to get that message across. Like, hopefully they still embrace him. This Edmonton crowd didn't know his song. They didn't know the fucking words. And and shout out fucking Jericho putting Alberta over there, bud. Its own country right away there, bud. Shout out Pinoca. Yeah, we're listening to Jericho right now. He's saying he took a lot of risks. So he's all in. He's going to sign his deal right here in the ring, work a shoot. And how many people do they have in attendance tonight? Let me look. I did consider going, but so yeah, and then they're doing Collision tonight. So do they air it tomorrow? No, I think it's just on at its normal time. So the setups for 4,200 and they weren't even at 4,000 tickets as of the update today. That's what I'm saying, man. And then he returned in Winnipeg, his hometown, 4,400. So not even 4,000 here. So when they go back to America, are they going to chant, please retire again? I just don't fucking know, man. He should have went to break the wall down. The fucking fireworks, break down the wall. Crowd would have been fucking nutty, man. Okay, so he's getting it over. He loves AEW. He loves pro wrestling. He loves this company. They're chanting Jericho. And they're like, yeah, actually, no, we want you in WWE, but like, yeah, sure. Oh my God. Finger Shay. Damn. Okay, so Finger Shay's out there, one of the most hated. Maybe Jericho worked himself into this so that he could fight the guy that everyone hates. The IWC gets behind Jericho a bit. You know what I mean? They could book this correctly, man. I don't know, this Dynamite, I've been digging it so far. I mean, the package, the vignette they did for All In was really good too. Featuring MJF heavily. They're booing the shit out of Ricochet and these dudes. Here we go. Real heat. He's going to bring up. Oh, I was like, dude, he's going to bring up the playoffs. Florida's eliminated there, bud. So Edmonton's got a fucking chance there, buddy. Win a cup finally. I just hope that Jericho doesn't put together like a group of fucking stooges again. But the problem is that he's going to need people to like do shit. He gets the hot tag, you know? Or do you think he can just go? You think he's going to just be hitting fucking lion salts like 2002 again? See, now if this carries over to the next American town they're in and shit, this could work. This was the right time to bring him back too, because the April Fool's thing was a nice touch, but then you have the like leading up to Dynasty, the Canada run, and yeah. Oh damn, burying quarantine.
It's like a
How the fuck could you hate on that? How dare you hate on that? Ricochet's like, nobody wants you here, dog. You could say the same thing, bud. He's telling him, don't come back. You really are bald. Chapped his ass. Chapped his ass. Oh, he dropped the shit word. Sign the contract. Are they going to jump him? So this Sunday at Dynasty. Why? Why are you picking on the popcorn vendor? Shout out Sherwood Park, dude. Did he say Conor McGregor or McDavid? The list. It seems like he's fucking, yeah, you just made the list.
You just made the list.
He's going to pick Ricochet as his first opponent. Oh my God, guys. So how is he allowed to? I wonder how he's allowed to do this. It's no. Actually, I kind of know how, right? Because actually, Jericho. You just
made the list.
And it's crazy he went back to this because him and KO could have did this. Like KO would have come back and people would have went crazier for it. And I'm glad he can do it. But actually, you know that they stole this as well. Like the list. That was a stolen thing. That was always a stolen thing. So Grapple Vision is a YouTube channel. And that motherfucker over there, or those people, I think like multiple people run that channel, but they have a video about how Jericho stole the list. Like that was invented by someone else on the indies already. Someone was doing it. And then basically whoever came up, I think it was like Jimmy Jacobs or whoever came up with that with Jericho, took that from someone he saw do that shit on the indies like years before. So yeah, you just made the list.
You just made the list.
I don't hate that. I don't hate what we just saw. This Dynamite's been pretty good. I know I've been babbling over some of it, so maybe I'm not ingesting it the right way, but him going back to you just made the list. Okay, he's likely retiring in AEW, and that's why. And it's weird. I wonder if there's going to be, again, like cease and desist action from that. Who fucking knows? But moving along here, we have ratings talk. Okay, so we're going to do ratings talk here. It's kind of boring, I know, but ratings and attendance, we got to talk about it. So Dynamite Collision in Edmonton, Alberta. Again, 3,700 people are there. They were set up for 4,200. We move along here. The tickets sailed. The tickets sold. The ticket sales for All In London. Okay. 21,896, according to the Observer, have been moved for All In London 2026 so far. Raj Giri says anyone paying attention knows this is not good compared to last time, and it isn't. I think first day they were like at 40,000. So people are like, oh, AEW will clear 40,000. Yeah, after Tone papers the house, I bet they'll do 40,000. But it won't actually be 40,000 in there. Oh, well, but yeah, just it's down. The trends are down. I'm sorry. It is what it is. The live attendance don't reflect Nielsen's wonky fucking ratings. So in other ratings and attendance news and whatnot. So BJ Bethel got caught up being a fucking bozo again, because that's what he does. And BJ Bethel is like, it's now been over a year since I broke the news at SE Scoops of AEW streaming numbers when it first began airing on HBO Max. Just this week, someone accused me of saying they were getting millions of viewers on HBO Max a week, which is an absolute lie. One of hundreds of lies about what I wrote. The numbers were corroborated by Tony Khan and a top WBD official. I used to name him, but the requested reporter stopped due to harassment he received. I still get tagged in complaints. Yeah, because you're a fucking dumbass. And then this guy, English Vato, says, am I wrong in remembering TK saying that he doesn't know what the exact number is? Yes! He also said that he hopes to be profitable, but Dave says he's profitable. Or is old BJ here just pretending he said something relevant and trying to rehash old lies? And then look at right here. All Elite Wrestling is averaging around 500K viewers for its Wednesday Dynamite show. It was titled by BJ Bethel, Actual Numbers on Max Streaming App. Here's what he said. WWE is working very hard to prevent AEW landing on Fox. Sam Shipman told me the counter shows they have planned. Wow, maybe it works, whatever. No sources on that one, but I can go ask, making an observation. So again, dude, and Tone says he doesn't even know the fucking ratings. So it's just bullshit. There's no 500,000 on Max. And Raj Giri says, you're correct. This is TK's quote. I don't know what Max viewership is. I honestly, according to a report I saw, we may be. But also I don't exactly know because that's the most detail I've seen. All I know is that we're one of the top sports show. I don't know what the NBA streaming viewership was in the past. I'm not sure what the March Madness streaming viewership is. I don't know the NHL streaming viewership. And then Raj says the fact that he thinks that's TK corroborating it shows how credible he is. Just a bunch of bums sweeping.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
And that's the fucking problem. So we move along here. And AEW Dynasty in Vancouver, bud. 8,000 tickets. This was April 7th, though, yesterday. So again, 8,059. Who is this? Mascara Dorada coming out here. So 8,059 people there. They're set up for 8,820. I doubt they'll do the 8,820. I mean, this place can seat 17,200. So again, there's like fucking 8,000, 9,000 seats empty. Is what it is. Hopefully Jericho can get a pop. Hopefully this is a good, fun show for everybody involved. Vancouver's a nice place. And or at least just stay away from certain fucking streets. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, it's pretty nice. BC, I should say, is a nice place. I don't know about Vancouver. But either way, last time they were there, Collision did 6,600, though. So a pay-per-view only drawing a couple thousand more people, roughly. It's like, I don't know, man. Should be hotter in Canada, I think, than they are, but it is what it is. In other ratings and numbers news, let's just see here. We have attendances. So the strongest week of Dynamite ratings since Revolution continued on Wednesday night with the show scoring over 700K viewers. For the third week in a row and tying its best 18 to 49 of the year, Dynamite averaged 730,000, down 5% with a 0.15, up 7% in the key demo per Programming Insider. As always, these numbers do not include the HBO Max simulcast. The total viewers was tied with the post-Revolution episode as the second best audience since last June. 18 to 49 was tied with the episode from the second, or the fifth, episode as the best rating since August. Year over year, Dynamite was up 21% in total viewers, with the 18 to 49 was down 6%. So they're doing the damn thing. They're doing good. Collision numbers were down from recent weeks again because they don't have the massive lead-in and shit. When you don't have a massive lead-in, Collision isn't going to do that good. But on Thursday, their fans showed up and showed out, man. They actually did pretty good. Collision averaged 373K viewers with a 0.07. The show was tied with 8 other shows to rank number 32 on the night on cable in primetime in the 18 to 49. I don't, is that really the key demo anymore? Is that what it is? I guess it is. I don't fucking know. But RAF 7 had 62K Google searches, which is more than AEW gets for its pay-per-views, which Dave claims do about 140K buys. RAF 7 had 32K live viewers on YouTube internationally with 3 matches to go before they pulled the stream. So again, here's a writing here. Fox Nation has 2 million subscribers. They had 62,000 Google searches, which is more than AEW gets for pay-per-view shows. But Dave says that they do 140,000 to 180,000 buys for a show that showed less than half the Google trends than Forbidden Door 25 that did 120,000 buys. So do that Meltzer math in your fucking head. The price is wrong, baby. The price is wrong. And so we have roster news to go through here. And the Hurt Syndicate are back, and they're looking to add a new member. I wonder who it could be. It's not going to be Cedric Alexander. But yeah, they should add some new members, and they're just going to do this. I mean, if I had Bobby Lashley on my roster, he'd be fighting for the world title at least once. He'd at least be putting a guy over for the world fucking title. But In other roster news, it was implied that Mark Quinn sustained a tear of some sort by an AEW source, with another claiming he's going to miss significant time again. God damn it. Again, he's hurt. Fuck. Speaking of being hurt, Kyle Fletcher suffered a meniscus injury, sidelining him for quite some time. After doing that interview, going, oh, bruv, the last All In was terrible for me, and I just, my haircut wasn't right, and I'm joking, but he was just like, it was terrible, I was nervous, and this and that, and it was like, dude, you fucking, and then his match got pulled, and it was just terrible for me, I want it to be better. And it's like, man, you ended Adam Cole's career, buddy. Be a little fucking humble and show some humility, and he's like, I'm just pumped for this year for it to go all right. Now he might not even be on All In, okay? And so there are additional injuries that Kyle sustained as well, which could rack up his out-of-ring time. And then they announced on this Dynamite here that he has vacated the title and he's expected to be out for months. There's going to be a TNT championship match, Casino Gauntlet championship match at Dynasty to crown a new champion. Ciampa versus Dorada to determine the number one entrant, which again, that match type is fucking so stupid. It's so stupid. I love the matches themselves, but they have to be elimination. They have to be. Or there has to be a set number of people. You have to work it that way, or else it just doesn't make sense at all. But yeah. It's now vacant, and there will be a new champion at Dynasty. That's how long he's going to be out. Tone has literally shelved people for a fucking year while they have a title. And look at how long Peraza was shelved with a title. So we know he doesn't really give a fuck, but this is just, that's how long he's going to be out. He probably won't make it to All In. And that's the wrestling gods being like, dude, what the fuck? You know? And it's unfortunate. I really hope that he can pull a quick and speedy recovery, but not an Osprey where he comes back too soon. And so, speaking of matches that are going down at Dynasty, well, we do have some other, let's get into this other little bit of like roster stuff that we have here, which ties into Dynasty. We have again, Andy complains, the Butcher and the Blade fucking not complaining, but like how many wrestlers got to do this? Speaking of being on the fucking shelf, how many have to do this? The Butcher says, hi, Blade and I are very healthy and hungry. I'm liking and retweeting this. Can we please wrestle? Please book us, wrestling companies. We'd like to stay sharp. Get it sharp, because we're like knife guys or something. So he's trying to make a joke, but like, the Butcher and the Blade have to beg to be fucking used.
The best guys,
like,
Tony
why'd
Khan.
you sign them? Why'd you sign them for so long? They have a great look. They could have been an effective tag team way more than they were. But you got talent like begging to fucking wrestle. We got guys getting hurt again, missing fucking All In. More than likely. But Colton Gunn was cleared for injury. Cleared for injuries. Cleared for injury, guys. Break his legs. He cleared for an AEW return after more than 8 months out with a knee injury. Billy Gunn confirmed this. So, again, we got the Bang Bang Gang getting back together. Maybe some Bang Bang Gang Civil War with the Gun Bros or whatever. And hopefully he might be back at Dynasty. A three-way number one contenders match this Wednesday on Dynamite. Rascals, Bucks, and a wild card team. Maybe Butcher and the Blade will get fucking booked there. I don't know. Lex, you got any inside scoops, buddy? Are they going to be there?
I don't know.
Me neither, dude. But they're staying in shape. So. In other roster news, Orange Cassidy got brought up, and I thought this was so fucking weird. I just thought this was really obsessive and weird that Fightful would report that the voice actor for Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2 knows about Orange Cassidy. Roger Clark. Who's this fella wrestling with his hands in his pockets? Okay. And then I posted this quick flex. And after I tweeted this out, Roger Clark follows. PWT confirmed it's official. I'm an RDR3, guys. It's official. They hired me. I will be an RDR3. I'm going to be playing the voice of the guy on the radio. I'm Laszlo, because it's taking place in an era where the first radios were Arthur Morgan's soul fucking puts together a radio, and Phil Marks is the voice of the game. It's official. But he did follow me. Shout out Roger Clark. And Fightful, though, it's weird. I thought they don't report on tweets. I thought that they don't just report on wrestler tweets. I thought as well. Really weird. But they reported on this tweet of this guy who knew about Orange Cassidy, but they don't report on tweets of AEW wrestlers attacking people.
Wrestling's not fake!
Got it. So there's my quick flex. So moving along here in other roster news and dynasty news, I guess. Well, first, we have Darby Allin here on the TBS network. Let's catch up with Darby Allin and what he's doing, crossing over with the Final Four Fan Fest. Say that 5 times fast. And this is the premiere of Foul Play. I can't even talk today. Something's up. Foul Play with Anthony Davis. So it's like his prank show on TBS, and it's like Impractical Jokers, but with celebrities. And this is what everyone does. I know. Let's do podcasts, but with ready, drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Ready? Celebrities. So it's just celebrities and sports people and wrestlers, but they do pranks. So Impractical Jokers. All right. Shout out my guy Sol Volcano. But yeah, here's a little promo for that with Darby Allin. Of course, he's a jackass, so he's got to be involved.
Hey, yo, what up? It's Darby Allin. We're here at the
Hey, yo, what up?
Foul Play, free throw line. Let's get it.
Air ball, and then he slams into a bunch of balls. You're selling it too much. People think you're really hurt.
Make sure you check out Foul Play with Anthony Davis.
Now, that's just too much, Darby. I'm not down with selling the game. No. Wrestling Chico for 2 says Jericho versus Fingershay. Who booked this? PWT for life, Chico. You know who booked this, dude. Are you fucking joking me? You know who booked this shit.
Or, the young superstar, babyface, that former heel thing. So,
honestly, I got to be real with you guys for a sec. And as much as Fingershay is an asshole and likes to tickle them, he, especially his own, he was booked correctly there because they were like, fuck this guy. And they're in Edmonton, so anybody, it came across holy shit, I'm cooked. I need more coffee. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to tone it back. We're on 1 cup a day. We're doing 1 cup of coffee a day, okay? And I think I need to go back to 2 for fuck's sakes. Your boy Phil is tripping. So they booked it correctly. Like the reaction, anybody who came out would have got booed by interrupting the hero Jericho. You know what I'm saying? But he was put in the right position, and he's going to wrestle Ricochet and probably get in a 6-man scenario, or maybe he just keeps doing his solo thing. Yeah, I'm okay. We're kind of getting lost in the sauce now on Dynamite, but they're just focused on not just in-ring shit, and that's where they're WWEing it up, and now their ratings are doing better. They start using Samoa Joe, and then the ratings do better. But yeah, Fingershay is actually the right guy to be in that situation with Jericho. I'm going to put it over. You know, I actually like that segment. So let's get into, so we got a couple more AEW things, guys, and we'll talk about the Fed a bit. So where do we start? So not Ricochet. Where are we? Everybody all together now. The best guy's Tony Khan.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Dynasty's coming up, okay? And as reported by the Miami Herald, AEW... Oh, sorry, let's read this one first. AEW is heading to West Palm Beach, Florida for Fairway to Hell Live from the SoFi Center. And yeah, it's called Fairway to Hell. I'm on a fairway to hell. So it's like wrestling on a golf course, or is it just going on the same time as some golf shit? I don't know. But Dynasty is coming out on Sunday. Should we stream Sunday? I don't know, guys. Dynasty pay-per-view will be available on HBO Max, Amazon Prime Video, my AEW DAZN, traditional cable, and many other providers. Fight/Triller TV no longer offering AEW pay-per-views. It's official. And Dave is going to lie and say this one did. It didn't do as good as the last one, but 120 to 140,000 range. Because he adds an invisible 30%, and then when he believes it doing good, he adds an extra 30%. We figured out Dave's trick, so that's what he's going to do with that. But speaking of the fucking numbers, Nicolo Piccolo posted this crazy-ass thread. Like, look at this. If you guys don't like doom scrolling, it makes you queasy. And he tries to pwn Dave Meltzer here, which he did. Not tries, he does. But it's like, you got to get through this. So Nicolo Piccolo, he said, all right, let's do a class on Nielsen ratings, witness a timeline murder. I'm about to spin the block. Spinning solo. The programming insider screenshots below are for Wednesday, March 31st. So PI Update is one of the few places that just posts the raw Nielsen grid without a spin. So here we go. In the current environment, you're generally looking at, here's the key demo with the range of fucking viewership. Okay. A 0.10 is 580K to 610K. A 0.20 is 900K to 960K. Okay. So that's the range. And then everything else in between. He says the issue is how often people there and treat it like a conclusion instead of the starting point, because a single demo pulled out of context doesn't tell you what kind of number it actually was, what kind of audience it represents, or what it means in real marketplace. So again, I implore you to go read this. I'm not going to read all of this, but he breaks down how there's that's not a suitable imbalance. That's the numbers. So like 0.09 women, 0.20 men, 18 to 49. He breaks this all down. Right. And so I want to get to where he says where the those are good placements for a cable property. They're not dominant placements, and they're not close to dominant placements. 12th at 730K tells you exactly how much total audience is actually there across the full market. Let's just see. I think he says like what he thinks the all operate at 600K plus per telecast levels, but only for global scalable franchise inventory. Talking about Netflix, Amazon, and Apple. Let's see. Low tier buys. Roku, Tubi, and Vice are operating at 150K to 300K per telecast range. Let's just see if he gives like an estimate on pay-per-view numbers. TKO is effectively sitting on roughly 100% of premium combat sports market share at scale when you look at UFC plus WWE across global distribution. Boom. Ari Emanuel has been advising David Ellison for 15 plus years. Tony Khan. This is the guy who's friends with Dana White and Triple H and Trump and fucking Elon Musk and all these guys that Tone's calling bald assholes and shit, and that's why he's playing the nice guy approach. That's why he tried to buy WWE. He would have been in business with these motherfuckers, and no one cares about it. Tone confirmed he tried to fucking buy WWE. So a monopoly when Tone does it is okay, but when fucking everyone else does it, it's not good. Just like the Sickos who would ditch AEW tomorrow if it went out of business, they wouldn't even give a fuck. And it would be largely it would become ROH or whatever the fuck tomorrow. They would just go to a new fed. Tone saw the shiny new toy and would have went and worked for WWE, and AEW would have been on the back burner for him. And he would have been like, oh, I'm booking Raw and SmackDown now. It's great. Okay. So we move along here. Pat McAfee is the main event at WrestleMania. We know how him and Ari Emanuel are tight. That's not a throwaway detail. That's the signal. Now, guys, there is some real heat there with Rhodes and shit for sure, and possibly Triple H. Now, Triple H is a ride or die, so a lot of people aren't pointing this out. Like the same way they go, oh, they want him to be like Dana White, but then Triple H gets heat for fucking... Or they say like there's a power struggle and there's heat between. I don't really think there's heat. I think that he tries to do stuff creatively. I think that they bump heads. I know, man, that WWE hits Triple H with like analytics and shit like this that they want to see implemented in creative. He has to deal with shit like that. But at the end of the day, just like Dana White fully admits that he doesn't book the fights, Hunter Campbell and Sean Shelby, he doesn't even negotiate with fighters, but he's the guy that they parade out there to go, yeah, I talked to John Jones. We were never going to book John Jones for the White House, but you don't book people anymore. You fucking fully admit that. So it's not like he's not privy to those conversations, but Dana White's the guy they parade out there to be the face of the UFC. So if that's the case, then Triple H is fully on board with whatever TKO wants to do. It's not like they're going to fire him and maybe they would fire him if he doesn't do what they want him to do. That could be true, but I don't think he's clashing heads as much as like maybe some of the wrestlers are like, what the fuck? And instead of going the direction of like Triple H heels and like, no, I hate that you smashed the throne. He was on Team Cody Rhodes, and you guys got to understand something. Triple H and Rhodes and all the wrestlers, they're on the same boat, right? And I guess on Rhodes's podcast, he was like all down with Rhodes smashing the throne and shit. I thought that could have made for a good storyline considering Randy Orton and all of that. But Pat McAfee is, as Triple H said, Pat McAfee is the face of WWE to some people. So he's on board with all of this. Believe he is. Believe it. So, and again, maybe his job's on the line if he ain't. I won't throw that out of the fucking window. But Niccolo Piccolo goes on to say, so when you put all of this together, the picture gets even clearer. AEW is stable. AEW is reliable. AEW fills a lane on TV. Well, we know that for sure. I don't think anyone's denied that. And if anyone has, then I don't know. They want the 500K is what the rumors are. So yes, a 0.15 matters. Yes, 730K matters. The number isn't fake. The number isn't terrible. The number is specific. So boom. It tells you exactly what the show is right now. It tells you the core audience showed up. It tells you the audience is heavily male. It tells you women are materially underrepresented. It tells you the show converts to about 730K. It tells you where it sits on the night. It tells you what the audience shape hasn't changed. What it doesn't tell you matters just as much. It doesn't tell you the audience is expanding. It doesn't tell you the show is broadening. True. It doesn't tell you the ceiling moved. This was a good night for a show with a defined audience, but none of it overrides the reality that this is being evaluated inside a system that already knows what must-have looks like. And right now that bar is being set somewhere else entirely. Dave Meltzer getting fucking felted. Go and read this whole thing if you want the full breakdown, obviously.
God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Shout out Niccolo Piccolo. And yeah, he drops. I mean, then you got to go through all the numbers, but this just backs up everything he's saying. But yeah, he's just pointing out what like the fucking people in charge of the TV biz look at. So like Dave isn't going to know this, and AEW don't give a fuck. That's why Tone's trying to play nice. Right? They're going to end up on some fucking streamer or something. Okay? And it just is what it is. But the sickos don't understand this, and it's fine. I'm honestly getting tired of like I've said it a few times, but just the online sickodom discourse, like the main ones perpetrating are just full-blown bots. Like even if they don't have the blue check, if you're just copy and pasting other people's tweets, like it's just bot shit. It's fucking goofy. Again, and I've said this, yes, they're popping a good rating. Does this really mean like, okay, if we go back to 6 years ago, even Coach and Bro brought it up. Does this really mean like you're growing or you're competing with WWE? No. Does it mean the max numbers are over 500K? No, it means you're popping a rating again because you're doing some good TV. I think they've been doing better TV. It's way more WWE-esque. We can all admit that. Way more recaps, vignettes, promos, packages, story shit being built. Way less good and evil. Other than that fucking Ospreay shit at the start of the show. That was fucking stupid. All of Ospreay's return has been ass. So I think that we can all agree on as well. But you can't expect like sickos who are just like blindly loyal and faithful to fucking understand this. And so the AEW fan base, this is what Eric Bischoff had to say. Now he's going off on the sickos. I love the sickos. I'm actually on Team Tone after the but yeah, I guess this is a mini sicko segment, but Eric Bischoff has something to say. Let's take a listen.
I can't even describe to you how irrelevant anything that has to do
And
with
also, I'm not about to try, and I like that Nicolo Piccolo's like, these numbers are real. I'm not about to fucking start debunking Nielsen after everybody used Nielsen as a way to be like, look, NXT's whooping AEW's ass. Raw's drowning fucking AEW. I'm not going to start now. Like, if Netflix puts out numbers, if Nielsen are the ones who tabulate, I'm not going to cope over the fucking they are what they are. We are who we are. Right? They are what they are with the TNA. They are what they are. I know NXT was fucking not in some markets and preempted or whatever the fuck. I know AEW's had some strong fucking lead-ins. I already factor that in when you look at the ratings. NXT is the fucking C show in WWE. It is the developmental, quote unquote, where some veterans go to try and get young guys over, and it's a bunch of young, unestablished guys. And then there's some people who who are established in NXT who go to the main roster, and then they eat shit at first, like Julia and Roxanne, and then they got to figure it out. Or there's people like Oba and Javon who just instantly the crowd eats them up. But like, yes, AEW, by the way, everyone talks about it with these ratings and with the star power and what Tone's paying everybody, should be fucking beating NXT every time. Okay? Anyways, here's what Bischoff has to say about the sickos, and he's going off on them. He's got a vendetta against them, and I don't blame him. And where are these people glazing RAF? Like, RAF is really making waves in the mixed martial arts bubble of all martial arts.
I can't even describe to you how irrelevant anything that has to do with AEW really is to me. But I do like screwing with their ridiculously stupid, willfully ignorant fan base who just absolutely collapse and overreact to anything that is said about AEW. They are the lowest of low. They're the low-hanging fruit that's so low-hanging to the ground, the fruit's starting to rot on the vine.
And I see in chat, like, it's not that Nielsen numbers aren't real. It's that they tweak the methodology. You can see AEW's been flat when you adjust for that. Nick told me he doesn't believe either number. Right. Nielsen is bullshit. Billboard is bullshit. Netflix could fuck 100%. What I'm fucking saying, always has been, always will be. What I'm saying is this. They say we're crunching the data and they release the fucking data. Then I'm going to look at that like no one else. I'm not going to believe what BJ Bethel, who else is there, like programming insider and shit. If you're going to present the numbers, I'm going to take them at face. Like Nick is, that's what Nick is saying too. They're not fake. Like it's what Nielsen's saying. You just got to take them for what they are, but this is what they represent. This is what they actually represent. That's what his breakdown. Go read the whole thing. Okay. But I agree. All of it's bullshit. Like, I don't fucking, you believe like fucking the Billboard, Nielsen, all this shit. I don't believe any of this shit. All I'm saying is that Netflix goes, here's what our numbers were for Raw. I'm going to take those for that because that's Netflix saying it. Nielsen, everybody agrees. Nielsen's going to do the numbers. Everyone agrees. We all agree Nielsen's going to do the numbers. Okay, we're going with that then. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to take it at what it is. AEW's put on better shows. We'll just chalk it up to that. Does it mean it's like blow? Where's the live attendance? You know, I'm right there with you. Like, where's the live attendance? Oh, they didn't have good lead-ins, or did they have huge good lead-ins too? Right? So, I I don't buy into any of these motherfuckers, you know? I don't buy into the Nielsen. I never have. I don't, but it's just like, if they're going to say this is what the numbers are, okay, we're going to go by that. If somebody tells me this song charted #1 on Billboard in the country charts, okay, then that's what it was, right? I can't, what am I going to start debunking them after Nielsen is what people use to say AEW is doing shitty? So they tweaked it again. It's horseshit. I'm right there with you. They keep tweaking it. They invested millions to make it one way, and then they just tweaked how they tabulated again because, and it wasn't just AEW guys, NXT, remember CW was upset and they were like, they publicly were like, we need to fucking get these numbers figured out or whatever. The one executive went public saying that shit, that they were like, these numbers are a farce. There's something wrong with the way they do it now. So your boy Phil is right there with you, but like, what are we going to do? I just take the numbers for what they are. Has AEW been putting on a better show? I think they have. The live attendance remains something to be seen. Does this debunk the 500K on Max more? I believe it does too. If you're doing 750 on TV and you were doing 500K on Max, am I supposed to believe that? Fuck no. But the Max numbers I'll dismiss if anyone talks about them because they're invisible. Nielsen, at least they put some shit out, and Programming Insider aligns as far as it's usually more or whatever the fuck, but then like it adjusts for the same amount, like the percentage that it decreases or whatever the fuck, you know, the early numbers, the Fast Nationals or whatever the fuck. I don't think they're called that anymore, but whatever. I digress. I'm just not going to cope over Nielsen. I'm sorry. I don't know if people are going to do that. That's fine. I'll just look at the numbers for what they are. It's not like NXT can't crack a 700. And also they lost a bunch of their main dudes. Right? It's not like AEW's touching. It's not like Dynamite's touching SmackDown or beating Raw or anything. So the cope for me, it's like if they did if they just like overnight started doing like 1 million viewers and it was unexplained, and like the attendances were still like 2,000 or 1,000, maybe I'd start coping over the viewership, or I'd be like, then why the fuck is it? But like, I mean, 700,000. Okay. They did that a few years ago. They did more than that years before that. You know, Tony Khan can try and cope on Coach and Bro and be like, well, we did similar numbers early on in AEW. Yeah, but you had over 1 million watching you and you couldn't maintain. That's crazy. Now there are ebbs and flows, but other than Punk drastically increasing shit, we've never seen them go on the upward swing. So if they're on an upward swing right now, I don't know. I'll take it at face value.
That's
I guess is what I'm
the
trying to say.
typical online AEW fan base, and collectively the dumbest group of people I think I've ever been exposed to, right? So it's fun to tweak them because they're so easily tweaked. And at the head of that, you know, group of rotten, low-hanging fruit is your buddy Dave Meltzer. The truth is so painful to people like Dave Meltzer and the sycophants that, for whatever bizarro reason, listen to him or think that he has any idea what the wrestling industry is really all about. Those are the people that I like to tweak, not Tony. Tony's doing the best he can. Tony's living his dream.
Living my best life.
If I had access to a couple $1 billion, I'd be chasing and doing some.
And remember when Dave was like, well, if Eric Bischoff and Conan really want to challenge Tony Khan, they have the chance. Bischoff's killing it with RAF, and fucking Triple A's just on fire right now. It's so funny.
Stuff too that made no sense to anybody else, but I wouldn't care. I'd just be going out and having fun, whatever that was. And that's what Tony's doing. So God bless Tony and his father for allowing him to do it, because it's a gift. But man, tweaking those wrestling fans, there's people that have emotional breakdowns by making a simple comment.
Yeah, dude, they got emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
So speaking of kooky ass AEW fans, listen to this. And again, this should go in the Sickos segment, because this is a real fucking story. And we've seen AEW fans chaining people up in basements. There was one caught on a fucking pedo hunter YouTube channel. And now we got a sicko who was going to kill MJF. So MJF claims some fake pilot once tried to abduct him at an AEW show. And so MJF says, a pilot walks up to me and he goes, Mr. Friedman, I'm going to be flying you out back home after the show's proceedings, which, to be fair, I've flown on the jet with my boss up to that point anyway. So I find my boss after this pilot says this to me, which thank God MJF went and checked. Like, Jesus Christ, some random pilot. Like, MJF, has the pilot ever walked up to you? The pilot's backstage. Tone's pilot is fucking backstage at Dynamite, fucking booking shit with him and Will Washington or what, bud? So he goes, so I find my boss after this pilot says this to me, and I knock on his door, and he opens the door, and he goes, Max. I go, yeah, it's me. I want you to know how much this means to me, the fact that you're trying to fly me back to my dad as soon as possible after he had the heart attack, because he did know my boss, Tony Khan. And he goes, what the fuck are you talking about? And I go, the pilot just told me. He goes, I didn't fucking book you a jet to go back home tonight. My jet's busy. The Death Riders are using it for a ping pong tournament. Playing ping pong and ding dang. So MJF says, so now I go back over with one of my bosses, one of the EVPs of the company, QT Marshall. Wait.
You what?
QT Marshall's a fucking EVP. The
best guys, Tony Khan.
What the fuck are you revealing here, dude? Fuck whatever you talking about. I just watched the movie Send Help with Rachel McAdams. Fucking so good. Sam Raimi, go and check that shit out. Real good. So except for the ending was a little, it's hard to stick a landing sometimes. So one of the EVPs, QT Marshall, and QT goes, so who did you say hired you again? And then the pilot goes, Tony Khan. Tony Khan's my boss. We go, okay, are you sure about that? And then security comes and they grab this guy, and QT go, well, why the fuck wasn't Tone there? And QT goes, before the guy leaves, he goes, wait a minute. We'll let you stay if you show us your pilot's license. What? So why isn't Tone there being like, I've never seen this guy in my life? What the fuck? So he sneaks backstage and they're like, we'll let you stay. QT's handling it. Why isn't Tone over there like handling it? Vince McMahon would personally fucking teabag this guy. Well, I guess he'd do a lot of freaky deaky shit on a plane. Actually, it'd probably be scarier being on a plane with Vince McMahon than
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
Than this guy, but just saying. So your pilot's license, and the guy, shit you not, does this. I left it at home. Get the fuck out of here. So then they fucking throw the guy in whatever you call the brig or whatever. We still don't know how he got there. We still don't know how he got backstage. To be fair, our security team was changed since then, but it probably was the building security, not even AEW security fault. But they asked the guy, what were you planning on doing? And he was honest. He said, gonna fucking abduct me. It puts the lotion on the skin. He's like, before we get in this van to go to the plane, to go to the airstrip, will you help me get this couch in my van? Help get this couch in my van, please. My back is hurt. Fucking shoves him in the back. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Jesus, man, that is super creepy. These sickos are just out of pocket, man. But MJF plays a little word association. And let's see. This is Games with Names and MJF's unfiltered opinion of fellow wrestlers. Let's see.
Let's do a little word association.
Absolutely.
Adam Cole.
Baby.
Ric Flair.
Woo!
Big AJ.
Boom.
CM Punk.
Egg. That's 2 words. Sorry.
It works.
It was a compound word.
I bet you didn't think wrestlers had brains.
Yeah. How you like them apples?
The Iron Sheik.
The word jabroni comes to mind.
Chris Jericho.
Ayatollah. He was the Ayatollah of rock and roll. I couldn't say the whole thing. It's one word.
Goldberg.
Jew.
Samoa Joe.
Fat.
Hangman Adam Page. And that's our word association.
There you go.
That's one yet. Let's go.
Nailed it.
Let's do a little word association.
Absolutely.
Adam Cole.
There you go. Shout out Edelman. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. Everybody, Ichi Nissan Da for AEW news. It's chaos in Canada. We gave them a main event that they don't give a fuck about. In breaking news, yeah, Leon Slater and Nick Nemeth. So I'll just stitch this together later. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive back into TNA news. Get your banjos. Chat. So, despite being previously cleared by all parties and respective management, Leon Slater has been pulled from his match 1 week prior to our memorial event. We will have more to say at a later time, but we wanted to be immediately transparent to all of the fans. So Leon Slater versus Finger Shay is officially canceled. And according to Dave Meltzer, flutes in the motherfucking chat, even though I don't think he's lying here, at Cap Live Pro Wrestling, Nick Nemeth versus MJF is officially off, Brian. The match is off. It's been postponed. And so, yeah, Carlos Silva was allegedly not happy, even though you're not partnered with them. And also that is a night they've already ran collisions on. He had to have known it was going to happen. He might just be using that as an excuse. And the best guy's Tony Khan.
Tony Khan.
Let's get into some WWE news, guys. We got WWE news. Stay locked in. Did you guys hear CM Punk's, like, obviously you guys heard it, but CM Punk's like crazy promo on fucking Raw that had everybody melting down? That shit was legend. That shit was legendary. And it triggered the IWC. Just an amazing Raw. This week's coming up, Memba Monday. We will be watching Raws. It's the Go Home Raw for Mania, I believe, right? Yeah, it'll be the Go Home Raw. So we will be doing a watch along for that for Memba Monday. And I just want to pull this up. So ladies and gentlemen, let's head over here. Let's head over here because it is time for WWE. And here is CM Punk, who cut a promo, absolutely snapped. We have some clips of it. Well, here's the full segment. So he just walks out and the show starts and they're like, later tonight we have CM Punk, but then he just walks out there. Crowd goes crazy and he cuts an insane promo. He sits down. I'm surprised he didn't have Mindy's Bakery with him as he was about to cut this thing. And this promo went hard as fuck.
That haunt me to this day. This is Paul Bosch territory. Houston wrestling. Sometimes I dream what would Harley Race do?
And people were triggered by the whatting, but Punk masterfully dismantled. They what when you do the wrestler promo? Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. What? Da-da-da-da. You have to, like, when you notice that they're doing that, you have to switch up your flow, like the rhythm of how you're delivering your bars. You can't, like, pause. You got to, like, go into the next two sentences quickly and shit. Then you'll dismantle that whole what thing. They're not whatting Harley Race.
But dreams are just stories we tell ourselves. The important stuff happens when we're awake.
Facts. We're just skimming through it.
2 weeks ago.
This was from Raw. Shout out Netflix, TKO. They're going to snipe it anyways. So
Shockingly enough, with help from his cousins, he put me through the ringside announce table with a power bomb. By myself, with the World Heavyweight title in these two fists. And I got my receipt. Like him, who hate me because I won't trade my authenticity for approval.
ooh, yeah, Punk was cooking. We're listening. We're locked in. We're going to skim through.
Being hated by losers is the price I pay for not being one of them.
Let's fucking go.
Doubt it, but maybe. What, are you going to be mad at me because he didn't show up because I damn near crippled him? I showed up.
Talking
and
about
I'm an
Roman.
old man. Roman Reigns says he hates me, and I understand. I know why he hates me, but now let me take a moment to explain to everybody who bothered to show up in Houston why I hate Roman Reigns.
That jacket's so fresh.
See that sign? It says WrestleMania Las Vegas. That is the biggest show of the year. The granddaddy of them all. And Roman, we both have the tools to climb the ladder and make it to the pinnacle of the king's sport.
One little fumble.
Store bought and they're hand delivered, and they're like you. They're plastic.
Oh, shit. Chapped him with some Mean Girls shit.
See, back in the day, I was too young and stupid to really understand, but now I'm too rich and too old to give a damn. But I understand.
He's rich.
Why this company, why TKO sends you, your beltless ass, to Jimmy Fallon. It's because you're safe and you're boring and you're plastic.
Wasn't Punk on like Tonight Show or one of those shows recently? Maybe I'm off on that, but I thought he was to promote his show. But whatever, he's spitting.
And you're saccharine. And you're manufactured. And me, I'm dangerous because you never know what I'm going to do or what I'm going to say. Why is it that I can film half a dozen television shows and movies and never miss a goddamn day, but you use it as a crutch to not show up, and somehow these people are going to boo me when I give them the news that you're not here?
Damn, boo. They kind of boo him.
You know I'm right. Up late, you gleefully leave early, and you puff your chest around in the back like you're The Rock.
Ooh.
At least The Rock is a Hollywood superstar.
Ooh, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait.
Was a Hollywood superstar.
Oh, shit. Holy shit.
Just like you, Roman, were a champion, but that fairy tale is long over. Directors, I don't surround myself with wise men and advocates and yes men who want to protect myself from the truth. No, my daddy wasn't a pro wrestler who gave me a favor job because I sucked at football.
Oh, shit. And people are coping. There's wackos like, did he really just say that? He actually would have went to the NFL, but it wasn't for... It's like, man, guys, he's cutting a fucking promo. They're laughing all the way to the bank with this one. The build to WrestleMania has been really good where it's been good, and then it's been shit where it's been shit. So, like, Punk and Roman, so fucking good. Brock, Oba, the build's so good. Honestly, the women's tag division, pretty good. Like, they did a good balance of, like, balancing it across both shows. There's been some good build, like, you know, Stephanie, Liv, especially after those hematomas they suffered. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but I mean, things have been good where it's been good, and then where it's been lackluster, the ladder match, it's like, well, yeah, it's pretty lackluster. I guess they built it on main event, but who's watching that,
I have paid my dues, and I have earned and deserved everything I bust my ass for. And you are just a buck-toothed nepo baby who ate dog food for a weird old man.
Oh, shit! Cooked them! Vince is playing! He did eat dog food for a weird old guy, dude. That's a real thing that happened, dude. Holy shit.
And that weird old man for years treated me like a dog, and he expected me to smile. But I had FU money, so I took that and my dignity and I left. And that's why you hate me. It's because you can't control me like you control some of the people, like you control your cousins and your family. They can't control me.
CM Punk.
Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun yet? See, be careful what you wish for. When people ask me for a pipe bomb without understanding what it means, this is what you get.
I wonder if some TKO guy came, like, who was there that night that's like, hey, can we get Punk to do a pipe bomb? And Trips goes to Punk and he's like, they said they want you to do a pipe bomb. And he's like, are you fucking, do they even know what that means? Because he was just dropping bombs on these motherfuckers, dude.
Roman, you can brag about how many times you've been in the main event of WrestleMania, but if me or anybody else were afforded as many opportunities as you have and sucked at the first 8 of them so spectacularly bad, we'd be fired and blackballed, but you can't blackball me. They can't blackball me. And listen up. I can gleefully stand on the bridge and blow it up because, bitch, I know how to swim.
Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. He's cooking them.
And you would think I'm done, but I'm not. Because everybody's getting it tonight.
Everybody.
Pat McAfee.
He called him Pat McAfee, dude. Oh, shit. He is fucking cooking everybody. Holy fuck. God damn. So let's keep playing. We just had to give it its due. We had to give this promo its due. Fucking TKO. Yeah. What are you gonna flag this video, TKO? What are you scared, TKO?
You buggy whipped arm, no brain hillbilly. You think you can come here to the business, my business of pro wrestling, and run your mouth while you just wrote a check that your narrow ass can't cash. You want to talk about ticket sales? Do me a favor. Call up that agent that was foolish enough to shoehorn you into this business and this show and tell him to lower the ticket prices.
That's pretty wild. Now, did nobody sign off on that? I wonder who signed off on that. I wonder. I'm curious.
I'll be damned if I'm going to have you, somebody who kicked a football for a living, come to my business and talk to me about selling tickets and putting asses in seats. You got a receipt coming to you. Houston, lower the ticket prices because I want all these families to come and watch me stand on Roman Reigns' throat at WrestleMania because my name is CM Punk and I have approved this message.
I mean, fucking best in the world, am I right? Like, come on, dude. That was straight, like, one of the best fucking promo of the year, dude. Like, come on. Holy Shit, I'm trying to think like what was a better promo, and whoever did a promo better than that this year, was it Punk or not? Because I mean, come on, man, he's just crushing. That was insane. The lower the prices, I mean, he's being the voice of the voiceless. He's speaking for the people. This is how he gets over. This is how you sell the fucking match. I wonder if someone told him to go out there and do the goddamn pipe bomb or what. He went crazy. He snapped. And then, of course, Mike Johnson, PWI, breaking news, says WWE had a plan for what they expected Punk to say, but he went out and cut a different promo from the heart. We have not heard of any fallout from the promo, but we were also told much of what Punk said mirrors backstage frustration among talent over the last several weeks. So WWE's work to shoot where there's like a authority versus the boys type war, and like the behind the scenes, and they're continuing the Rock stuff. Now, Rock fucked everybody by not continuing to be the final boss and represent that side of shit. Like, imagine if The Rock was here and he's like in Trick's corner behind Lil Yachty and Pat McAfee and all of these guys getting involved. And yeah, it's this, we're box office draws, Cody Rhodes, Mama Rhodes. What do you know about box office draws, Mama Rhodes? Right? Like, it would have been better, but he left everyone high and dry to go do his fucking Hollywood thing, which what did you expect? But yeah, they're doing a good job of like creating this fucking narrative, and Punk just knocked it out of the park, buddy. Like, what a spectacular promo. And there's lots of news from this Raw. Rey Mysterio joined the Intercontinental title ladder match at WrestleMania. He returns and he's cleared from injury. And a lot of people were like, you know, they wanted Gunther to retire Ray. You know, we were hearing here at PWT, they actually wanted Gunther, AJ Styles, but AJ didn't resign until after Rumble. So, you know, whatever, who knows, who gives a shit. Ray's back. He ain't hurt. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt in this ladder match, but he is going to be in Escalada de la Muerta as fucking Penta defends his title against 5 other folks in the ladder match at WrestleMania. That will be really good. Also on Raw, this vignette or this like promo played. Check this out. And everyone's like, what is this? So it seems like you can hear at the beginning, it's Liv Morgan's music. Dun, 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 dun. And so clearly she's planning her laugh. Like, clearly she's planning some big dance routine entrance. Dance, dance. And that's why I think she's also going to win the title, even though I think Vaquer should get the W. I think that Liv is going to get this and all of her dreams and more come true, as she was also in an update here on Liv Morgan. She was also in the booth. So maybe she's recording a new theme, but again, she's just doing side quests, acting, singing. I don't know if I like this, right? Like, I don't know if hopefully she's good at singing and this isn't just like, well, I have money now, so let me just buy the studio time and go record. Like, anybody can do this, and that's why music sucks ass, and it's just an unforgiving fucking, and in the entertainment industry, music is like the seediest, okay? And I don't know. Hopefully she, maybe this is just like, whatever, I'll drop this on my YouTube channel or something. It's just, it is what it is, man. Shout out Liv, but Liv taking bumps literally. So on Raw, again, Stephanie Vaquer, speaking of this match, she ran up behind Liv and fucking glommed her into Roxanne Perez. Okay. And they fucking clashed heads. Okay. And they got hematomas. Like, people are saying these are goose eggs. These are fucking full blown. Like, that is a hematoma, dude. And yeah, Liv got it bad. Look at her forehead there. Like, that is crazy. And Roxanne got it as well. She's got a big lump on her head too. And they actually just clashed heads. You could hear their heads smack. And they were cooked. They're going to have to ice those. I know they're worrying if they'll be there until WrestleMania. It should go down with some ice on and off, and the makeup will cover it up. obviously. So also on Raw, just one of the most spectacular Raws. I love the Judgment Day just making fun of her, all pointing at her laughing, but just one of the most spectacular Raws, which they've been doing quite a bit. Danhausen came out and was firing the Cannonhausen in one direction and told the other side of the building to fucking buy his merch, which was hilarious. Let's take a look at this.
Oh, that was a big one.
This is during the commercial.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa, is it broken again? Run right. There they are.
I love how they sort of just treat him like a mascot. And when Truth is gone, this will be kind of the comedic relief. And it works. And I like that they're doing that because that's what AEW could have done. They have something like, I can't remember the numbers. I should have bookmarked it, but one of these dirt sheet guys posted that they have like 24 items already for Danhausen, and he's going to be in the video game last minute and the fucking toy sales and everything. Like, he's going to go crazy. And they just literally send him out there and go do shit, entertain people during the commercial break, and it fucking rules. And I love that they air it on Netflix internationally. And yeah, I mean, this is what Orange Cassidy could be doing. This is what AEW could have did with him. They're not taking him seriously, but in the right way. They're like seriously not taking him serious, but his curse is serious. Super ethereal. Dude, Cole's gonna get cursed. And then he kind of makes fun of him. He's like, "Oh, you're supposed to run away when the lights turn off, you goof." Right? And again, we saw the dirt sheets just get it brutally wrong. This guy here who was talking about some Braun Breaker the other week is now talking about Seth Rollins opens, CM Punk closes. That's not at all what happened, Corey of Body Slam. That's why when they're talking all the shit about what happened with backstage between the talent, CM Punk's pipe bomb, I don't give a fuck what any of you guys are saying, because then you do shit like this, or you tweet out vague shit like Braun or woof woof or bark bark or whatever the fuck. And then Rollins did not open and Punk didn't close either. Punk opened and Rollins was near the end of the show. And speaking of near the end of the show, appropriately, this is what it is. 24 Danhausen items for sale, including t-shirts, hoodies, masks, pictures, their versions of his wrestling buddy. Like, come on, man. They're making money hand over fist with this guy. But speaking about money hand over fist, by God, King, Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. So I'm going to play the off-air footage. But goddamn, man, they had an amazing pull apart. The show ended, and I was like, I want more. I want fucking, it's Thanos versus Hulk. I want more. Like, it was just so good. And they ended the show at the right time when the heat was at the max. They gave the people at home something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. The crowd could not believe their eyes. Look at this dude in the crowd. Like, he's like, holy shit. People were going nuts for this. They couldn't believe it. Brock and Oba had a pull apart. Triple H came out and was like, God damn, what's going on? You know, trying to separate shit. Here's Brock and Oba off air fighting. We got a couple clips. Stairs were being hurled. Brock is just selling his ass off. Oba Femi is just looking like $1 million. I think Oba's gonna get the win. He came out, man. The crowd was just fucking behind him. He's so over, dude. I just can't wait for this match. This match, to me, I'm the most excited for, I think, out of anything on the card. And the crowd's going, let them fight. Who? Where's my guy JJ? Is he going to tell me that's piped in? Ooh. And they were like hurling chairs at each other. They're booing now. Brock steps out. He don't really want none. He grabs the fucking steps and watch this. Just dangerous. Oh my God. And the fact he just hurls it over the top rope like nothing. Triple H is like, fuck this chair. Let them fight. Oh, we're going to see it at Mania, dude. We're going to see it at Mania. Oh, God. Dude, and they're hurling shit, hitting security guards. Like, Oba picks up the stairs. I don't know, his Trips like, you go now. But he grabs the stairs. Everyone clears, and Oba just... Brock hitting security guards and shit. Like, you just write that guy off a little extra on his check. You know, like, I don't know. He's some local indie guy. He's taken light tube bumps to fucking, and then Oba like leg drops this dude. This security guard's like, what the fuck? He's taking light tube bumps for left. Ooh. 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 Oh my God. Dude, it's a coming out party. It's the Oba Femi, A Star Is Born. Be so grateful that you're alive to watch a guy on the come up who will be main eventing WrestleManias and shit. Just spectacular. Here's another angle of the hurling of the thing. And you hear people shrieking, like you hear kids shrieking, ah, you crazy. Fuck, man, the heat on that. Just amazing, and you're lucky somebody didn't get hurt. And it's confirmed Nikki Bella is injured officially, so even though she went out there and fought and bumped around, she fucking is hurt. And that was confirmed on Raw as well, so that sucks. Hopefully she's in the tag match. I think she can pull it off, but are they going to put the fucking women's tag titles on her? Who knows? And then at main event, Royce Keys, Powerhouse Hobbs beat up Brutus Creed on main event before Raw. So we'll see what they do with him. I think the Raw after Mania, he'll probably pop up if I had to guess. And guys, nordvpn.com/ProWrestleTime. Save 75% off. Get yourself a VPN. Watch. You already got Netflix, most of you motherfuckers. So watch WrestleMania on Netflix, on Canadian Netflix. With NordVPN, 75% off new signups. And Sauce Inc. says, please post Discord link. I don't have permission to. Okay. Yeah, let me get the Discord link to, and you guys can join Discord. I don't even know what the fuck it is or where it is. I'll find it here. There you go. Lincoln Hawk got you there in chat. Shout out Lincoln Hawk. So, yeah, Kenny Omega and MJF are going off here. I think this is into an overrun, no? And Kenny was kind of cooking. The Canadian fans are behind him. MJF is doing his thing. Kenny is getting better at the talking thing. MJF saying the truth out loud. So he's like, you're all scared shitless. We got some more WWE news to cook through, but we're to sift through. So this is an overrun territory, right, chat? %75%, he says he's at. Is this is overrun, is it not? So MJF is spitting. If you guys are hit like, hit subscribe, all that good shit. Retweet, hit the heart if you're watching it on X. I don't know. It's just more of the same from MJF, and I don't give like Kenny in a suit. What are we doing here? No. Okay, let's get back into it. So we talked about the ratings or Raw and how good it was a little bit. And so in ratings talk, Netflix views for last Monday's episode, we're back to the 3 million mark, while the hours viewed were even with the prior week. So again, if Netflix was going to fudge the numbers, they could easily do it here. There's a bump in one, but then the hours viewed are even. They could have been like, the hours viewed were way more or whatever, but they don't do that. So this week, per Netflix data, up 3.5% from the prior week with 5.5 million hours viewed, which is even. It was the 5th time so far that the show has garnered 3 million plus viewers. The show ranked number 5 for the week in the U.S. on Netflix, up number 6, and 6 globally, down from number 3. Year over year, views were up 3.5%, while total hours viewed were down 7%. Last year's episode ranked 6 for the week and 8 globally. So that was Raw. People, you're missing out if you're not watching Raw. It's better than Star Search. You want to see Jelly Roll do some shit, watch Raw. Or I guess he's on SmackDown, but still, it's better than whatever the fuck he's doing on whatever else show. So SmackDown scored its best audience, 18 to 49, since September for last Friday's episode. SmackDown averaged 1,508 viewers, up 15%, with a 0.43 in the key demo, up 30%. Holy. Both the audience and 18 to 49 were the best since the episode that featured the return of AJ Lee. SmackDown was number 4 for the night in primetime behind women's basketball programming on ESPN. Year over year, SmackDown was down 4% in total viewers, while the 18 to 49 was down 8.5. I'm curious, do they release what SmackDown is globally? They should start doing that on Netflix for SmackDown and NXT. They should post like what they do globally, or like what they do in Canada, or what. Maybe that's not a big enough sample size. But speaking of the main roster and sample sizes here, what's going on the TV show? Pat McAfee actually responded to CM Punk on the Pat McAfee show. We will see him on SmackDown, and maybe CM Punk shows up to surprise. I don't think they'll do that. Why would they do that? But who knows? It's the road to WrestleMania. Anything could happen. So here's Pat McAfee's response. Speaking of SmackDown,
what I am learning about
he
us
will be there.
is that things become things. Okay, we obviously all go with that. But then I got a lot of people telling me how small and irrelevant we all are. So, it's kind of an interesting battle every single day on being like, hey, if I throw away line, okay, becomes, we didn't say go to hell.
No, I saw a lot of you last night.
Oh, buddy.
Speaking of things.
Had a little dinner,
Mm-hmm.
took baby girl up to bed, come downstairs at 8:30, 8:40ish, open my phone, go to the X, go to trending. Is that me? Are they Pat McAfee? What is that about? CM Punk last night called me Pat McAfee and attacked a lot of things, and then he would lay out why he is not worth the price of admission to WrestleMania.
Yep. Oh,
lower the prices now. I'm not worth that much. But no worries, Mr. Punk.
It's kind of true, though. I love this. Are we going to get McAfee versus Punk after? This might be the best shit in wrestling next to Oba Brock.
Randy Orton is here to save everything. And this has been an exciting time. Joe Tessitore revealed the WrestleMania cards earlier today on Get Up. Mike Greenberg started asking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, he did.
Jeez, Greeny.
Journalist.
Whoa.
Journalism. He's pro.
And let's not even talk about real life conspiracy happening. There's a guy who I think he's in the meetings.
Yeah.
Saying they're around
200 yards.
What? We should know. We should know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never know.
There are a couple in there.
Do we know anything?
Nope.
Find out tomorrow. Goodbye. What an ending.
Well done.
You think that's like a real gripper at the
Okay. Well, he's going to be on SmackDown Friday to follow up and let everybody know what he has or what he thinks about that, and what he's going to do to Rhodes at WrestleMania and all this shit. Speaking of Rhodes and WrestleMania, so he was on a pod with Triple H, and I don't know where this quote came from or if this episode's out yet. I didn't see any video clips of it, but Triple H has reacted to Cody Rhodes' AEW throne smashing, and he was like, I saw it as your hammer because it was smaller than mine. Big dick joke. I remember when people brought it to me and were showing it to me, and I was like, fuck yeah, all right, good for him. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit you do. We're trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to play the game. You're trying to do some cool shit, trying to do some different stuff. Believe me, if I would have thought there was malice in it, and maybe indirectly there was some at the time, I don't know. But if I would have thought there was any serious malice in it, I would have called you and said, hey, dude, are we okay? Because I was so close to your dad. But then I always felt like a connection to you. It's one of those things where you see somebody going off doing their own thing and having success in the game. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Cody, come on. Get yourself on that spot. Where we're like, hey, now listen to what he says here. This is a quote from Trips. He goes, at least in text, he goes, get yourself in that spot where we're like, hey, we should go I don't know what he did differently, but let's go get him. You know what I mean? So he's trying to be like, you weren't doing anything different than what you were already doing, but make us want you in the Fed. So he cheered on the throne smashing. I thought it would have been cool if he heel turned and fucking sided with Orton's and they were like, yo, fuck you, dude. You smashed that throne and everything we built. That represented everything I built. Time to play the game. And so, and a couple news is here. Ilio LaFleur surgery was a success. So that rules. We have controversial news speaking about Triple H. The text messages between Paul Levesque and Nick Khan, recently disclosed in the ongoing lawsuit over the TKO merger, demonstrate Levesque's concern related to friction with Vince McMahon leading up to the merger. Khan wrote back to Levesque's D-Day comment with words he later deleted in legal filings. Khan claims he doesn't remember the content of any of the deleted messages. Of course he doesn't. Lock them up, illegal. No, dude, it's not illegal to delete text, bro. What do you fuck? It's not illegal to not remember shit, bro. What are you talking? But here's the problem, right? They sort of stooged that Vince kind of. Well, we know, listen, he put the bloodline in place. So even Mania 40, how much of that was Triple H's booking? Everyone's like, we love it. But ever since Vince has been totally out of the picture, you could argue WWE and Triple H's creative hasn't been the best overall. It wasn't good as the lead up to 40. But everybody came in and was like, it's the Triple H era. And that was obviously that's what they want. They want Vince out of the picture. They want that to be the narrative and everything. But Triple H was like, how's it going so far? Man, I'm wound tight today. D-Day tomorrow. Expecting the worst. And then Nick Khan said some shit deleted. Triple H says, call you shortly or no time to play the game. And then Nick Khan was like, 2:30 East Coast, before good, after tricky. Okay? And I think Post Wrestling like edited this. You know, like pop-up video or whatever. So Triple H goes, VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. By the way, I need to meet with all of you tomorrow related to talent releases, which coincides with all corporate releases. Thanks. I know you are swamped. Let me know if you have a minute. Well, I'm sure you like to be done with this shit for today. Please let me know if you speak to AE. Nick Khan says, I will. I'll get him early. We missed each other tonight. He says, Kay, you okay? Yes, sir. How you? Good. Anxious for tomorrow and beyond. So Nick Khan is like not a big texter, but Triple H is having a bit of anxiety about what's about to happen. And if he goes down, like, I don't know. Obviously, he's getting a huge promotion, or WWE is fucking moving into this new phase. He's all nervous about it. And he's like, Nick Khan, what's going on, buddy? But yeah, post-wrestling visual representation of text messages between Levesque and Khan disclosed in public court filings, time shown in U.S. Eastern. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if these are real. I don't know if these were dug up in court filings. I don't know if... Well, they obviously knew Vince was gone. He was nervous because that's his father-in-law. This was a huge... Like, they had to kind of trick Vince out of the fucking company. And then they're being sued for like having to do what was best for business, because they can't have Vince putting himself on TV a week after allegedly shitting on someone's head and then buying her a fucking mink coat or whatever. So just a messy situation. I mean, figuratively, literally, shit's crazy. So in our last bit of news here, PWT, speaking of crazy stuff, we have Ric Flair. Okay, he's a legend. And he stated that per WWE, he's no longer allowed to be with Roots of Fight, which fucking sucks, because Roots of Fight makes really cool merch for like boxers, MMA fighters, pro wrestlers, guys like Bruce Lee, like just martial arts legends and shit like that. And Ric Flair says, and thank God for Tony Khan. Woo! What more of my legacy do you want to destroy, WWE? You all grew up loving me and I set the bar. Now you were trying to kill me and diminish my legacy. Thank you, but it ain't happening. Nice try. Let's fucking go. That's what Ric Flair said, right? Here's one of his clean prints. And he goes, I woke up this morning to find out that I'm no longer allowed to be with Roots of Fight per WWE. And this is the thing. Ric Flair is getting money from both companies. I need y'all to understand this. Like, he could be in the 2K. A lot of these guys, not a lot, actually, I shouldn't say that, but like Billy Gunn. Like, Flair could be in the game. That's why Jake the Snake's been signed to AEW the whole time, but they put him in the games because there's no... Hey, Ric Flair's like a big name, and he's more associated with AEW. But WWE's got him under like a Legends licensing. Like, I'm sure they could put him in 2K if they wanted. They just fucking don't. Which I don't think they should do. Like the UFC games, they include like Ronda. They'll always include her because they pay to have her. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, after they paid him and he went to fucking Japan, he was still in the video games. Rampage Jackson was in Bellator. He's still in the fucking games, you know. Fedor never fought in UFC, signed a deal in the recent games to be in the game. You know, EA Sports, it's in the game, man. So I think WWE should just put everyone they can, but 2K will fuck that up too. Anyways, he goes, let me think. I'm the only wrestler to ever be on 30 for 30 and ranked in 25 of all time. An Emmy-nominated documentary courtesy of the WWE, which I should have won, but I lost to a team, not an individual. 21 world championships, but I always played by your rules and kept it at 16. Paid McMahon back $800K, like that's a feather in his cap, when he said he would forgive it. I honored it. Fortunately, I still make $1 million from the great Ryan Fitterman Sports, $500K from Ric Flair drip. So this is every year. Like, why are you stooging your finances, dude? This ain't Caleb Hammer. And thank God for Tony Khan. What more of my... So Tony just pays him to pay him to keep him. What more of my legacy do you want to destroy, WWE? You all grew up loving me and I set the bar. Now you are trying to kill me and diminish my legacy. Thank you, but it ain't happening. Nice try. Yeah, they have some sort of like merch or like IP. Like if AEW dropped another game, I don't think they could put Ric Flair in it, but WWE can. I'm not sure how this deal works, but Who knows? Were they even able to take him away from Roots of Fight? Who knows if there's even some legal shit, some legal precedent that could be sent? Not that he's going to take it there, because Flair says he's not even mad. Business comes first. So he clarifies what he said, and he's dripping. He's Ric Flair drip go woo on a bit.
Nature Boy, just want to take this opportunity to thank Roots of Fight for letting me represent them over the years. It's a pretty cool thing to have. It's not as cool as being inducted in the Hall of Fame, but you'd be amazed at how many people admire and respect this brand. I think I've represented it well. People love it. Proud to have been part of the organization. I'm not even mad at the people that took it away from me. I was at first, but I understand business. Business comes first. And you always want to think that they'll make an exception, but sometimes exceptions just can't be made. So, Roots of Fight, thank you for the honor and the privilege of representing you. And I look forward to seeing the next member of a great team. God bless. Thank you.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they were like, Rick, we will let you do that, you know? But who knows if we'll ever see Ric Flair back in the Fed. Speaking of somebody who won't be in the Fed again unless it is a federal prison, and no, unless it's with the Federales, Alberto Del Rio, reportedly arrested for domestic violence. And I mean, listen, dude, fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times. You're an asshole. I mean, what are we going to do? Be like, oh, WWE might bring him back. I mean, that's all dead and gone. He fucked up that chance of ever happening. The last shit was bad enough. The woman came out and said he didn't do nothing. Paige has stories about how crazy this dude was. There's stories about him like fighting his own brother in a police station and having like a bloody fist fight with him and shit. And yeah, I mean, he reportedly was arrested for domestic violence, according to Mexican media outlets. So Del Rio's done. He ain't ever coming back. Rey Mysterio was like, I swear to you, I will get him back in AAA. That's what he told the fans. Not long ago either, when WWE acquired. And so that is not happening, unfortunately. And yeah, it's just unfortunate. And for, I guess, the late for him, I mean, for his life, like you couldn't, I can't like, you know, what are we going to fucking, this guy's a dumbass, you know, why you put your hands on women and shit constantly. That's just cooked. Fuck him. So Alberto Del Rio could face 8 to 20 years in prison for alleged domestic violence, Mexican media reports. I mean, 8 to 20 years, that's a lifetime. You know what I mean? More or less. So we will read this here. Wrestling News Co. says per Milenio, Del Rio could face one of 2 sentencing ranges under the San Luis Potosi Criminal Code, depending on which charge prosecutors ultimately pursue. The baseline charge of violencia familiar, domestic violence, carries on to 7 years in prison and a fine of 20 to 700 UMA days, regardless of whether injuries were produced. Damn. So, wife identified, prior plea for help. In Fobe, Mexico has identified the alleged victim as Del Rio's wife, Mary Carmen Rodriguez Lucero, and reports she is currently under medical and legal protection. Reports approximately 1 month before the April 6th incident, Rodriguez Lucero allegedly reached out to Mexican journalist Flor Rubio via WhatsApp and then walked the request back. The message read, I went through a situation with my husband. It was an impulse on my part. I've changed my mind. I don't want to cause trouble and make things bigger. Well, I mean, maybe that was a desperate cry for help from her. She didn't know what else to do other than to go to the media. But at that, like, why are you WhatsApping media people? It just seems crazy. It seems like a sting that's been going on. I'm not like trying to fucking say she fucked up or did anything wrong. It's just like, why was that going on too? Like, I'm just curious, were they like investigating it already and they were set up where how did she have this person on WhatsApp? The journalist Rubio via WhatsApp, she DM'd him. So I don't know. Maybe they were working on something crazy to take him down or something. The arrest went down at the home. She had visible injuries to her face and arms. God, it just makes me sick. He was detained at the scene. Prior allegations. So there was an incident with Saraya Page. It was classified as a domestic disturbance. No formal charges were filed against either party. Witnesses and a leaked audio reportedly captured the couple screaming at each other at the airport. Del Rio allegedly daring Page to call the cops while she asked him to leave her alone. Del Rio was not arrested, but the incident triggered an investigation. A second incident followed where Page reportedly filed a DV against Del Rio with U.S. authorities. Del Rio was arrested, but the case did not proceed judicially and no formal charges were filed. In 2020, Del Rio was arrested in San Antonio following a complaint from his ex-partner, aggravated kidnapping and 4 counts of SA. Holy shit, is that what went down? Holy man. So she alleges that he bound her with boxing tape, gagged her, and SA'd her over the course of several hours. Holy man. What the fuck? So bail was set at $50K. He faced a potential maximum sentence of up to 99 years. The case was dismissed. The attorney's office explained that the primary accuser did not appear to testify, which is why prosecutors were unable to continue. And Del Rio thanked the judicial system, the Texas judicial system, and said, I never kidnapped or SA'd anyone. There was false accusations. And the same bureau investigated that, intercepted phones in the end, determined my innocence. But it's like where there's smoke, there's fire in the sense that like now this is like a fourth fucking time. And Buddy could do 8 to 20 years, which is fucked up. And he was working backstage at AAA for a while. The Crash Lucha Libre announced that Del Rio has been suspended from the promotion and they were booking him. And he's been suspended following his arrest on DV charges. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like how many times is this going to happen before it's like lock him up essentially, right? I mean, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was an unfortunate way to end WWE News. Round of applause for the PWT universe. You guys always show up and show out. The last 2 days were spectacular. Awesome turnouts. Appreciate you guys coming. Round of applause. Thanks for the support. You guys let me know in chat or in the comments below if you want we should stream Sunday for Dynasty or maybe just skip that one. I don't fucking know. We're going to do a bunch of streams for WrestleMania weekend. That's going to be fun. I'm thinking of doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Raw for Member Monday, obviously, but the go home show, Friday, SmackDown, maybe do a stream, maybe not. I don't know, but I'm definitely streaming both nights of Mania. It's tradition here at PWT. And I love you all. Thank you all. Be good to each other. And, take care of each other, okay? And the weather's getting nicer. Hopefully, it's Mania season. It's like Mania week, the next week and a half. I'll see you guys for Sickos Saturday, but it's fucking Mania season. Get amped, get pumped. It's a fun time. It's like Christmas for wrestling fans. Hopefully, we get what we want and we see, Oba beat Brock and they put on a banger. And I think this card, they're doing a good job where they should be. Stay on the lookout for PWT podcast. Check out the one I did with Evil Dose. We talk unionization, and also check out the one that's coming up. I think I'll drop it like Monday. I'll do it in early next week. My WrestleMania preview show with Husey. It fucking goes down. We talk and more stuff. He drops fucking new updates on Conan and whatnot. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for being here. And with that, I leave you with Triple Cup time.
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guys, Tony Khan, is true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, live living legend of the fight, just a call away from making it right. Never see it back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower of modern art, triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guys, Tony Khan, is true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight.